You can live pain-free. The amazing staff at Teton Therapy can help in Lander and Riverton.
When repairs are complete after a collision, you expect your car, SUV, or truck to look like new. That's the service you'll receive at Stork Auto Body in Riverton. Professionalism and meticulous attention to detail. You can depend on Stork Auto Body, 841 Miniweb Avenue, Riverton.
If your vehicle needs repair, you can depend on the crew at Extra Care Auto Repair. They can repair almost anything with wheels, gas, diesel, domestic, or import, and their work is top quality and reliable. Extra Care Auto Repair on North Federal in Riverton.
A well-drawn-up game plan can be the difference between wins and losses. The same can be said about your mental health. Making a game plan to talk to your children can make a huge impact on them and help make them feel supported and listened to. The good news is, this winning game plan isn't hard to implement. All it takes is you starting the conversation and being ready to talk. If you need helpful resources and tools, you can visit FremontCountyPrevention.com.
It's more than clocking in or collecting a paycheck. We are a network of caring professionals who want to be here, dedicated to serving our communities. We are Sage West Healthcare, our two campus hospitals in Riverton and Lander. We take pride in our region, our people, and our communities. Located in beautiful central Wyoming, filled with natural recreation in our own backyard. We are neighbors caring for neighbors, a community caring for its own. We are Sage West. We are recruiting the best, like you.
Natural Health Solutions offers treatments for a variety of conditions, along with nutritional counseling, chiropractic, acupuncture, and more. Treatment plans designed individually to optimize your health. Call for an appointment, 856-8181 today.
Welcome, Lander fans, to Mountain View, Wyoming, and we are at the home of the Buffaloes and Lady Buffaloes. It's set up for a double dose of basketball action between Lander Valley and Mountain View. The JV girls game is currently wrapping up right now. The Lander girls were actually up right before halftime, and they have fallen to a 45-36 deficit. I am Shawn O'Brate, WYO Today's sports director. We are giving Ernie over the night off as he called back-to-back games last weekend and giving his voice just a break here. If you are not watching on WYO Today's YouTube, you can for free, and you might be listening on 93.1 KFCW. That is home of the Lander basketball and football seasons. This is going to be a very good game tonight as we have a possible upset here. The Mountain View Lady Buffaloes are the only team remaining in 3A basketball for the girls that are undefeated. They're sitting at 13-0. Lander Valley sitting at the bottom of that Southwest Conference at 4-6. This is both of their first conference games coming up, and that means that there could be a possibility of an upset here, especially if the Lander girls play as well as they did in the Bighorn Basin tournament when Layla Norse hit that last-second game winner against Lovell. That was a very exciting game. And as we await the end of this JV game, I'll give you some stats to watch out for in the varsity game coming up. As we said, Mountain View 13-0, Lander Valley 4-6. One of the main reasons that Mountain View is doing so well so far this season is they lead all of the 3A girls in defense and rebounding. That means that it's going to be a tough battle under the basket for Lander today. Mountain View averaging 45.5 rebounds per game. Meanwhile, Lander Valley averaging 28.2. And Mountain View's defense has just been stifling all year long. They are averaging just 28.8 points given up. And Lander Valley averaging almost double that at 44.5 points given up in each of their games. You got quite a bit of Mountain View Lady Buffaloes that are on the list of best rebounders in 3A. You got McKinley Cavolo. She is leading the entire division, or conference, I should say, in rebounding with 10.5 per game. That is one heck of a stat, and I don't believe there is no Lander Valley girl that is in the rebounding top 10. But as far as assists go, Kendall McFadden sitting up there really pretty at 2-1 assists per game. Mountain View's is Cammie Kinnison is 3.8 assists per game. Those are just a little bit of the stats that are going to try and give a preview of this game that we have coming up. And right now, 49-38 in favor of Mountain View, as we have number 0, Brianna Lincoln, up at the free throw line, waiting for the inbound pass. And while they finish this game up here, we're going to go back to a word from our sponsors, and we will be back with the Hampton Inn and Suites pregame show here on WYO Today's YouTube page and on 93.1 KFCW.
Why should you choose Lander Medical Clinic or Western Family Care for your health care? In addition to 4 locations in Fremont County, they also provide telehealth. Telehealth can be your go-to answer when you're out of town, on the road, or just can't get to urgent care. All you need is a good internet connection. To schedule a telehealth appointment, call 332-2941 today. That's 332-2941. Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care. With telehealth, they're putting your health first every time. You need an oil change, but you don't have a lot of time. Expressway Lubes on South Federal in Riverton and Highway 789 in Lander provide a fast, professional lube, oil, and filter change. Expressway Lubes, locally owned and proud to support our local student athletes.
A proud sponsor of this broadcast is Bailey Enterprises. For over 50 years, Bailey has become the name you can trust. With Pit Stop Travel Centers, you can fuel up and stock up on trip snacks at locations all over Fremont County. You can also put your trust in Bailey Tire and Auto for service to keep handy for those times when your luck runs out on the road. Refresh at the Speedway Cafe with a dine-in meal or a round of carry-out with a variety of specials to keep you going. Go with Bailey.
Your car or truck is an investment. When it needs repairs, you need someone you can trust to do the job right. Take it to Gunners Automotive. They repair all makes and models of cars and trucks, from oil changes to brakes, tires, and more. Gunners Automotive, 856-2288.
Wyoming Community Bank is ready to serve you. Stop in at any one of their branches located in Riverton, Lander, and DuBois. A bank that is owned and operated by the locals of Fremont County. Wyoming Community Bank. They're here to help you. Community Health Centers of Central Wyoming has locations across Fremont County ready to serve you at DuBois Medical Clinic, Riverton Community Health, and Lander Community Health Pediatrics. We accept all forms of insurance, including Medicaid and Medicare. Are you struggling to get medical care? Ask for their sliding fee scale. From family medicine to pediatrics, Community Health Centers are here to serve you. Call 307-463-7160 or visit chccw.org to schedule your appointment. High Plains Power is a Touchstone Energy cooperative. What does that mean for you as a Rural Electric Association member? It all comes down to 7 principles: open membership, one voice, one vote, member benefits, independence, education, cooperation, and community. To understand how it all works, we're headed back in time. In 1879, electricity was in major cities, but rural areas were out of luck. In 1935, President FDR made it possible for companies to build power lines to unserved areas. By the time we hit 1941, some 400 electric co-ops had been organized to serve rural America, just like High Plains Power. For more information, visit highplainspower.org.
Visit Lander Gambles to make your home feel like new. They will beat any competitor's price. Stop by to speak to one of the sales agents or visit landergambles.com. Lander Gambles will help you find the perfect product that fits your budget and lifestyle. Lander Gambles, 420 Main Street, Lander, Wyoming.
Are you a caring person that wants to help but not sure where to go? Wyoming Senior Citizen Inc. is looking for caregivers across the state. Call 307-856-6880 to find out more information. They would like to wish all Fremont County athletes good luck this year.
Papa Murphy's is proud to sponsor this week's Player of the Game. For a limited time, enjoy a Papa Murphy's barbecue chicken pizza made with KC Masterpiece barbecue sauce. After the game or anytime, you can't beat the fresh ingredients and authentic flavor of a Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. And you know it's baked right every time because you baked it yourself. Papa Murphy's on North Federal in Riverton. Drop in or order online at papamurphys.com. Go Wolverines!
Want access to local news, sports, events, and more? Download the WYO Today app. Now available on all platforms. Stream your favorite radio station, submit something to buy, sell, or trade for deals on the dial, or view contests and special coupons. Better yet, the WYO Today app is the best way to access free HD video of Fremont and Hot Springs County athletics. It's all at your fingertips. Head to your app store or visit wyotoday.com to download the WYO Today app now.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
During winter storms, it doesn't take long for roads to turn slick. Snowfall is often accompanied by high winds, and blowing and drifting snow can make it difficult to see the road. Speed limits are based on dry pavement conditions and good visibility. Be ready to reduce speed and increase following distance. Crashes are twice as likely to happen when it's slick out, and it's usually because someone is driving too fast for conditions. Remember, when there's ice and snow, take it slow. This message is brought to you by WYDOT.
When you purchase your car, do you know if you got the best payment possible? The answer is probably no. Oftentimes, your loan is packed with additional charges that can drive your monthly payment higher than it should be, costing you thousands of dollars more for your car. Hi, this is Patty, and here is your second chance to get the payment you deserve. Visit Atlantic City Federal Credit Union today for a courtesy loan review. We've helped our members save money by refinancing their vehicle with us. Now it's your turn. Open your eyes to a credit union. Atlantic City Federal Credit Union.
The staff and board at the Fremont County Fair wish to thank everyone who attended the fair this year. Whether you enjoyed Family Day, a night event, entered a craft show, or showed your livestock, thank you for all your efforts. We'll be moving and grooving next year, so stay tuned.
From the wide open spaces to the canyon near you, Wyoming.com is reaching more homes and businesses than ever before. For more than 25 years, we've aimed to provide the best internet and phone service to meet the needs of our customers all across the great state of Wyoming. Now it's getting even better. Wyoming.com, expanding to an area near you. Wyoming.com. We're out there.
Central Wyoming College now offers Bachelor of Applied Science degrees in Early Childhood Education and Organizational Management and Leadership, with an emphasis in outdoor education, tribal leadership, or business and entrepreneurial leadership. CWC offers 3 ways to learn: online, virtual, and in person. Learn, grow, lead, and advance at Central Wyoming College. CWC is leading the way with expanded programs in the Bachelor of Applied Science degrees.
WYO Glass wants to wish all the Lander Valley Tiger teams good luck this year. WYO Glass is locally owned and operated in Lander. They bleed green. Call or stop in today to get a quote on a window or get a quick fix on your window for a rock chip. WYO Glass is Lander.
From one corner of the state to the other, over 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. And to the 18% who don't, we say, let's buckle up for life, Wyoming.
And welcome back to Mountain View High School, home of the Buffaloes and Lady Buffaloes. We are 1 minute away from the end of this JV game. It would appear that Lander Valley has lost this. They're down by 12 with some free throws going up by Mountain View. And the Lander Valley girls are ready and willing to get up and try and upset this Mountain View team, hand them their first loss. I think it's very important for people to know that the Lander Valley girls were not with the boys team last week, so this is the first time that we've seen the Lady Tigers in almost a month, actually, since their home tournament. And it is going to be a fun experience for me because I got to watch a lot of good boys basketball last week, got to cover some Wyoming Indian games, some Lander games, some Thermopolis games, and just ready to get back in the... We got a foul here that's looking like it's going to be on number 12. Yeah, no. So I'm just excited here to see what the girls can bring to the table after a month of practicing and playing games under their new head coach, Melinda Cox. And Coach Cox is not new here. She was an assistant coach under Coach Cyril Stauffenberg the last couple years, and she's got these girls in a different type of offensive look, and it's working for the most part. Some of their games have just not gone their way. In fact, they've had, let me get my stats right in front of me here. They've had 2 or 3 games that have all been won or lost by less than 10 points. So losing against Level by 7, winning against South by almost 20 points. That's the kind of game that you want from them today. And then, of course, that Level game last week. Boy, when Layla Norris got the shot up with the time going down, triple zeros on the clock, and she was able to get it off the backboard and in to win 44-43. That is exactly what Lander Valley needed to spark hopefully some momentum that they can carry into this game. And like I said, riding solo today, I will be working camera and trying to get some stats, so bear with me here as we have Lander up at the line for free throws as they are down 54-43 with 33.5 seconds left. And that shot is good for Brianna Lincoln. The hair of these girls covers up a lot of their numbers, so again, bear with me. It's going to be a fun game today. Mountain View has packed this cool little dome that they have here. If you're watching on WYO today, it almost looks like a giant sauna, the way that the wooden dome kind of covers the ceiling here. And it's a fun stadium to be in. It's very loud. You can hear every single audience member, almost an elbow to Brianna's face there. And you can just hear every single player and fan in the bleachers even whispering, just the way that these bleachers are aimed downwards from the dome type experience here. It almost feels like the Wyoming Cowgirls and Cowboys basketball stadium, the Arena Auditorium down in Laramie. And while they're shooting these final free throws here as number 4 for Mountain View, Charlie Porter, is going to shoot some free throws, misses the first one. Let me remind you of Lander Valley's last couple games. They obviously won by 1 over Level. Like I said, they lost to Burlington by 14 points at that Bighorn Basin tournament, and then they just demolished Wind River Lady Cougars 65-19. So they've had a lot of games in the last week to kind of put some different mindsets and offenses together. Meanwhile, Mountain View has only had 1 game in the last week, and it came against Rollins, where they won 65-39. There's only been 1 conference game in all 3A, and it has been Glen Rock losing as they go down to 4-2. Let me give you some interesting stats here for Lander Valley, as the girls have quite a few starters and players that are not typically, when you have a basketball team, you have a team leader that almost leads the team in points by quite a bit. For the boys team, you have players like Brennan Stauffenberg and Abe Lopez who are averaging over double-digit points. For this girls team, it's kind of been spread around. Nobody averages more than 7.1 points per game. That's Megan Winfield that does that. Layla Norris averaging 7. Adeline Anderson is averaging 6. And then you have Kendall McFadden averaging 5.2. Those are your top 4 scores. Oh, Kiera Friday has 6.3 points per game. Those are your top 5 scorers for Lander, so they really spread the wealth around, and they don't really have someone that they heavily rely on, whereas the boys kind of hope for Abe and Brennan Stauffenberg to get the ball in their hands and really score a lot. Lander does not do that. So these varsity girls, anybody here can have a great game and go double digits, go have a good game. And it's going to be interesting to see which one of them steps up today against the undefeated Mountain View team. As far as Mountain View goes, they have one player, like I said, that is averaging double digits, McKinley Cavolo. That's 14.5 points, 14.7 to be exact. Meanwhile, everyone else is averaging 7.3 or less. And we will tell you more about those stats when we come back after this break with our Sutherland starting lineup. We are 15 minutes away from the tip-off of the girls' Lander Valley Lady Tigers versus the Mountain View Lady Buffaloes. And we have some great music playing. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. We're on 93.1 KFCW, home of the Lander Tigers and Lady Tigers, and we're streaming on WYO Today's YouTube page.
One is a pedestrian.
When you're driving, yield to pedestrians.
Wear light clothing. Walk on a pathway instead of the road.
Look out for pedestrians.
Avoid distractions like your phone.
Look out for pedestrians, they're everywhere. We are the Wyoming Indian Lady Chiefs. We need you in our stand.
From the field, to the court, to the pool, and beyond, Fremont County athletes give their blood, sweat, and tears for their teammates and community. Why compromise that with alcohol or marijuana? Help your athlete make the most of their playing time by avoiding the dangers and impact that substance use can have on their performance and future. For more resources and information, visit FremontCountyPrevention.com.
At Teton Therapy, our people make the difference. You can live pain-free. The amazing staff at Teton Therapy can help in Lander and Riverton.
When repairs are complete after a collision, you expect your car, SUV, or truck to look like new. That's the service you'll receive at Stork Auto Body in Riverton. Professionalism and meticulous attention to detail. You can depend on Stork Auto Body, 841 Miniweb Avenue, Riverton.
If your vehicle needs repair, you can depend on the crew at Extra Care Auto Repair. They can repair almost anything with wheels, gas, diesel, domestic, or import, and their work is top quality and reliable. Extra Care Auto Repair on North Federal in Riverton.
A well-drawn-up game plan can be the difference between wins and losses. The same can be said about your mental health. Making a game plan to talk to your children can make a huge impact on them and help make them feel supported and listened to. The good news is, this winning game plan isn't hard to implement. All it takes is you starting the conversation and being ready to talk. If you need helpful resources and tools, you can visit FremontCountyPrevention.com.
It's more than clocking in or collecting a paycheck. We are a network of caring professionals who want to be here, dedicated to serving our communities. We are Sage West Healthcare, our 2 campus hospitals in Riverton and Lander. We take pride in our region, our people, and our communities. Located in beautiful central Wyoming, filled with natural recreation in our own backyard. We are neighbors caring for neighbors, a community caring for its own. We are Sage West. We are recruiting the best, like you.
Natural Health Solutions offers treatments for a variety of conditions, along with nutritional counseling, chiropractic, acupuncture, and more. Treatment plans designed individually to optimize your health. Call for an appointment, 856-8181 today.
Welcome back to Mountain View. We are in our Hampton Inn and Suites pregame show, previewing the Lander Valley girls, Lady Tigers, taking on the Mountain View Lady Buffaloes varsity teams. And girls getting some shots in right now. And I'm going to go through our Lander Journal keys to the game. For Lander Valley's defense, it's quite obvious. You need to try and out-rebound the Mountain View team that is leading the 3A in rebounding. They don't have the height that it looks like Mountain View has. They have a couple girls that might be able to. Adeline Anderson, definitely one of those 2 tall girls for Lander that's going to have to work under the basket to get those rebounds. As far as offense goes, they're going to have to shoot better than they have been recently. Currently, they rank 12th out of all 16 3A teams in shooting percentage at 32.8%. Meanwhile, Mountain View ranks 7th for 36.3%. Now, there is a couple shining points here. As far as three-point shooting goes, Lander has done pretty well. They have Hayden Goggles in the top 2, shooting 63% from three-point range. They're going to have to get those shots going early. That or they're going to have to find some sort of pressure underneath the basket to scare Mountain View into playing a little bit more zone defense underneath and in the paint so that they might get a little bit more three-point shots available for Lander Valley. And if for Mountain View, you just got to kind of do what you've been doing all season. Try and out-rebound the team. Try and make sure that you have more points than them, obviously, and that comes from a lot of good shooting from their players here. Now, they don't have as many three-point shooters in the top 10, but they do have one of the best field goal percentages by McKinley Cavolo with a 54%. She's shooting over 50% of her shots going through the basket. That's going to be one of the girls that Lander Valley has to key on. And as far as defense, Mountain View needs to find a way to try and dominate under the paint, which is what they've been doing for most of the season. It's going to be a little bit harder for them if Adeline Anderson gets a good shooting game starting, and if they can get Hayden Goggles, who is not starting but has really, really come up. She was doing great in the JV game a little bit earlier. She's getting some shots up now. She has really made a name for herself on this Lander Valley team, as well as Megan Winfield, who's not starting. We'll get into the Sutherland starting lineup soon, but Megan Winfield averaging 7.1 points a game. They're going to need her and Hayden Goggles to have a good game, especially on the outside, because they have the hot hand right now, and they're going to need it if they're going to try and knock off this undefeated Mountain View team. And as we leave our Lander Journal keys to the game, we want to remind you can start or continue your subscription to both the Lander Journal, the Ranger newspapers, or Wind River News, which covers everything on the reservation. All of that you can get done at 421 East Main Street in Riverton, or you can call at 307-856-2244. Start or continue your subscription today. Lander Journal has looked a lot different as after the last couple months. We've been really adding some cool stuff in there, and we get a lot of the Lander pictures from all the boys and girls basketball games on the front page. So if you have a kid that you like, that you have family members, it's going to be in the Lander Journal almost always. And as we reach the 7-minute mark before tip-off, we will go to ads one more time, pay some bills here, and we'll come right back with the Sutherland starting lineup as part of our Hampton Inn & Suites pregame show here on 93.1 KFCW, home of the Lander Tigers and Lady Tigers. And we're streaming on WYO Today's YouTube page.
Why should you choose Lander Medical Clinic or Western Family Care for your health care? In addition to 4 locations in Fremont County, they also provide telehealth. Telehealth can be your go-to answer when you're out of town, on the road, or just can't get to urgent care. All you need is a good internet connection. To schedule a telehealth appointment, call 332-2941 today. That's 332-2941. Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care. With telehealth, they're putting your health first every time. You need an oil change, but you don't have a lot of time. Expressway Lubes on South Federal in Riverton and Highway 789 in Lander provide a fast, professional lube, oil, and filter change. Expressway Lubes, locally owned and proud to support our local student athletes.
A proud sponsor of this broadcast is Bailey Enterprises. For over 50 years, Bailey has become the name you can trust. With Pit Stop Travel Centers, you can fuel up and stock up on trip snacks at locations all over Fremont County. You can also put your trust in Bailey Tire and Auto for service to keep handy for those times when your luck runs out on the road. Refresh at the Speedway Cafe with a dine-in meal or a round of carry-out with a variety of specials to keep you going. Go with Bailey.
Your car or truck is an investment. When it needs repairs, you need someone you can trust to do the job right. Take it to Gunners Automotive. They repair all makes and models of cars and trucks, from oil changes to brakes, tires, and more. Gunners Automotive, 856-2288.
Wyoming Community Bank is ready to serve you. Stop in at any one of their branches located in Riverton, Lander, and DuBois. A bank that is owned and operated by the locals of Fremont County. Wyoming Community Bank. They're here to help you. Community Health Centers of Central Wyoming has locations across Fremont County ready to serve you at DuBois Medical Clinic, Riverton Community Health, and Lander Community Health Pediatrics. We accept all forms of insurance, including Medicaid and Medicare. Are you struggling to get medical care? Ask for their sliding fee scale. From family medicine to pediatrics, Community Health Centers are here to serve you. Call 307-463-7160 or visit chccw.org to schedule your appointment. High Plains Power is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative. What does that mean for you as a Rural Electric Association member? It all comes down to 7 principles: open membership, one voice, one vote, member benefits, independence, education, cooperation, and community. To understand how it all works, we're headed back in time. In 1879, electricity was in major cities, but rural areas were out of luck. In 1935, President FDR made it possible for companies to build power lines to unserved areas. By the time we hit 1941, some 400 electric co-ops had been organized to serve rural America, just like High Plains Power. For more information, visit highplainspower.org.
Visit Lander Gambles to make your home feel like new. They will beat any competitor's price. Stop by to speak to one of the sales agents or visit landergambles.com. Lander Gambles will help you find the perfect product that fits your budget and lifestyle. Lander Gambles, 420 Main Street, Lander, Wyoming.
Are you a caring person that wants to help but not sure where to go? Wyoming Senior Citizen Inc. is looking for caregivers across the state. Call 307-856-6880 to find out more information. They would like to wish all Fremont County athletes good luck this year.
Papa Murphy's is proud to sponsor this week's Player of the Game. For a limited time, enjoy a Papa Murphy's barbecue chicken pizza made with KC Masterpiece barbecue sauce. After the game or anytime, you can't beat the fresh ingredients and authentic flavor of a Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. And you know it's baked right every time because you baked it yourself. Papa Murphy's on North Federal in Riverton. Drop in or order online at papamurphys.com. Go Wolverines!
Want access to local news, sports, events, and more? Download the WYO Today app. Now available on all platforms. Stream your favorite radio station, submit something to buy, sell, or trade for deals on the dial, or view contests and special coupons. Better yet, the WYO Today app is the best way to access free HD video of Fremont and Hot Springs County athletics. It's all at your fingertips. Head to your app store or visit wyotoday.com to download the WYO Today app now.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
During winter storms, it doesn't take long for roads to turn slick. Snowfall is often accompanied by high winds, and blowing and drifting snow can make it difficult to see the road. Speed limits are based on dry pavement conditions and good visibility. Be ready to reduce speed and increase following distance. Crashes are twice as likely to happen when it's slick out, and it's usually because someone is driving too fast for conditions. Remember, when there's ice and snow, take it slow. This message is brought to you by WYDOT.
Welcome back to the Hampton Inn & Suites pregame show here on 93.1 KFCW and WYO Today's YouTube page. We are just going to get right into it here with the Sutherland starting lineup. Sutherland's your favorite home improvement store. Riverton and Lander citizens, get there and get your tools that you need and everything else that Sutherland sells. Sutherland's home improvement and building materials. Thank you for sponsoring this starting lineup. For the Lander Valley Tigers, Lady Tigers, I should say. Number 3, Darian Bell, a senior guard. Number 5, Aislinn Donahue, a junior wing. Number 13, Layla Norse, a senior wing. Number 24, Kiera Friday, a junior wing. And number 50, Adeline Anderson, a freshman post player who's going to have a lot to do today underneath the basket. And for Mountain View, we're going to get the best type of entrance here for Mountain View. You might hear it as I'm sitting right in front of the PA here. Mountain View starting lineups. We have number 2, Jada Kinnison, a 5'2 senior point guard. Number 11, Cammie Kinnison, a senior point guard. Number 21, Isabel Hickey, a senior shooting guard. Number 23, McKinley Cavolo, a sophomore center. And number 24, Haley Porter, a senior center. So they're starting 2 centers. That should tell you exactly what they do under the basket with all of their blocks and rebounds, which they lead the 3A in. And we're going to have the national anthem here.
Mountain View High School cheerleaders and the singing of the Star Spangled Banner by Mountain View High School junior Kip Walker.
And we will let you listen to the national anthem here. Beautiful rendition there by Kate. I did not get her last name there, but a Mountain View student, obviously part of the choir here. It's a great rendition of the national anthem. And that was our Sutherland starting lineup, followed by the national anthem. In case you missed it, Mountain View starting number 2, Jada Kinnison, averaging 7.3 points per game. Number 11, Cammie Kinnison, averaging 6.5 points per game. Number 21, Isabel Hickey. We're going to call her Izzy Hickey. She is averaging 7.8 points per game. Number 23, McKinley Cavolo, averaging 14.7 points per game. And number 24, Hallie Porter, 5.5 points per game. We do have a late injury news. Mountain View's Kendall Carr, a senior center, is out with an injury. Don't know when it happened, but Coach told me right before the game that she is trying to heal it quickly. And that was our Sutherland starting lineup. Thank you very much to Sutherland's. Go and get all the tools you need from Sutherland's Home Improvement Store, located out in Riverton. As we get a great voice here for the PA to introduce the Lady Buffalo starting lineup. As she throws a shirt, I guess the Lady Buffaloes throw clothes into the student section here whenever they come out. That's kind of a cool little tradition. And she's going to come over here and throw it. Going to give some high fives to the reffing crew.
Senior number 11, Cammie.
Oh, she's not even going to throw it. They're going to go up there and hand them directly to... Oh, she missed. Was a starting lineup if I've ever seen one. Lander Valley Lady Tigers wearing their green on green jerseys, black numbers outlined in white trim. Mountain View wearing their white jerseys with purplish blackish numbers. I see a few knee braces out here. Girls playing through injuries, trying to make sure that their legs are good. And here we go, tipping off. It's going to be Adeline Anderson and Haley Porter. I hope I'm saying that correctly. It might be Hallie Porter, but Haley Porter jumping up against Adeline Anderson. And here we go. Ball goes to the Lady Tigers to start. It's going to be Aislinn Donahue passing it inside the post to Adeline Anderson and out to Darian Bell, who banks in a 3 to start the game. Now Mountain View bringing it down. They're going to get some full court pressure here from Lander. They get it right over the timeline to Izzy Hickey, and Izzy Hickey's going to pass a nice little inbound pass to Haley Porter as she will go underneath the basket for her first 2 points. They're going to pass it in. Darian Bell, top of the key, trying to go inside the paint. Passes it, loses the ball, stolen by Mountain View. And number 11 running up the court here, and she gets blocked partially by Adeline Anderson. But number 23, McKinley Cavolo, gets the rebound and puts it back in. There's that rebounding skill we talked about. Darian Bell bringing it down. She's going to go to the right side of the post here. She's going to look for a player to pass it to, and she gets it in to Layla Norris, top of the key, and she gets a nice in pass to the post to Adeline, and then it gets pushed out. Darian Bell gets pushed out by Mountain View. Inbound pass incoming from Lander, and it will be Kiera Friday inbounding the pass. She's going to try and get it in. She does to Adeline Anderson on the free throw line. Adeline dribbles a couple times in the paint, puts up a shot, and it is missed. Rebounded by Mountain View. Cami Kinnison passes it off to her sister, I believe, Jada Kinnison. Back to Cami at the top of the key, and she almost trips and falls and ends up getting it to Haley Porter, who goes in and banks it in. And it is 6-3 Mountain View with just under a minute and a half played already. And here we go. We have Darian Bell waiting for the top of the key. Layla Norris passes it to her. Darian dribbles around. Nice little pick and roll try by Adeline Anderson. She's going to give it back to Layla Norris, who passes it off to Kiera Friday. Kiera tries to go inside the paint. She is tripped. No whistle. And she put up a shot. It just went straight out of bounds, so it'll be a turnover on Lander. Number 11, Cami Kinnison, gets the inbound pass, passes it to Jada Kinnison, back to Cami, and now it's going to go to Izzy Hickey. And what a nice pass. Oh, the pass goes inside and off the rim, but luckily was brought in and rebounded by Izzy Hickey, who puts in the 2. Darian Bell coming down the key, trying to get over the timeline, and she does. Tried to get a pick and roll there by Kiera Friday, and a nice pass inside. And that is, that was Aislinn Donahue with the nice inside look there for the 2-pointer. And Mountain View getting some full court pressure still. Cami Kinnison at the top of the key trying to dribble around Darian Bell. She passes it off to Haley Porter, who passes it back to Jada Kinnison at the top of the key. And she puts up a 3, and it is missed. Offensive rebound. Yes, by Haley Porter, offensive rebound. And she passes it off to Izzy Hickey. Back to the top of the key to Kinnison. And now Cami Kinnison passes it nicely into the paint. And almost a foul, but Haley Porter puts up the bank there. And she's already got 6 points. Darian Bell trying to get over the timeline here. And a nice pick and roll gets Cami Kinnison just way off. And Darian shoots a 3, and it is off the rim, rebounded by Mountain View. Cami Kinnison dribbling up to the top of the key, and now she goes far side outside, handing it off to Izzy Hickey, who's going to bring it inside the paint and pass it right back out to Jada Kinnison. Jada with a nice little spin move goes in, banks it off over, and she takes a graceful fall there. Jada Kinnison with the 2-pointer, and now Lander's down 12-5 with 4.5 minutes left to go on our Wild Today scoreboard. And it is it is Kiera Friday with the ball. She's going to pass it into Layla Norris on the top of the key to move it to the right. And we get kind of a push here. Both Adeline Anderson and Izzy Hickey fall to the ground. And we have a foul on Izzy Hickey. That'll be her first personal foul. And they're going to bring in some players here. We got Kendall McFadden and Megan Winfield coming in for Layla Norris and Kiera Friday. Now we have an inbound pass to Adeline. Goes to Kendall McFadden. Now it's going back to Megan Winfield at the top of the key, trying to do a little give and go move. Tries to get into the paint. She can't. McFadden at the top. She's trying to go inside the paint and can't. And looks like a foul on Adeline Anderson inside the paint. Off the ball foul. That'll be Anderson's first. Mountain View with the ball. Still facing full court pressure. And nice block there by Megan Winfield on the pass. I don't know if that was going to get over half court anyway. That might have almost been a 10-second foul, but now they will inbound it here. Inbound goes to Cammie Kinnison, who's facing Kendall McFadden down deep in their own territory here, and she's going to get it over the timeline finally, and she does a little behind-the-back move, and Cammie Kinnison goes inside the paint, puts up a shot off the back of the iron. Rebound, Mountain View. Miley Mitchell passes it inside to McKinley Cavolo, who gets it off the bank. And now it looks like Aislinn Donahue coming in. She's going to pass it to Adeline Anderson, who puts up a shot. Nice shot. Little 10-foot floater there by Adeline Anderson. And it is 14-7 with just over 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. And Mountain View trying to get it over the half-court line. They do, and a nice almost steal there by Lander inside the paint. And now they do steal it, but they lose it out of bounds. And no, it was actually last touched by Mountain View. And Layla Norris coming back in. Adeline Anderson and Darian Bell taking a breather. So out on the court for Lander. And now Aislinn Donahue going to come back out for a breather. We got Kiara Friday. We have Layla Norris, Kendall McFadden, Megan Winfield. And it won't matter anyway. We're going to get a timeout here by Mountain View. And we will take that timeout with them. 14-7, 3 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the first quarter on our Wild Today scoreboard.
When you purchase your car, do you know if you got the best payment possible? The answer is probably no. Oftentimes, your loan is packed with additional charges that can drive your monthly payment higher than it should be, costing you thousands of dollars more for your car. Hi, this is Patty, and here is your second chance to get the payment you deserve. Visit Atlantic City Federal Credit Union today for a courtesy loan review. We've helped our members save money by refinancing their vehicle with us. Now it's your turn. Open your eyes to a credit union. Atlantic City Federal Credit Union.
Welcome back to Mountain View. Just over 3 minutes to go, and it is 14-7. Home team Lady Buffaloes here as Kendall McFadden going to pass it way deep, and it's going to be picked off in the middle of the court. Izzy Hickey with the steal, and number 5, Miley Mitchell in the game. She's going to get the ball off of a bad pass. She's going to try and go inside, passes it back out to Hickey. Hickey goes inside the paint with a little floater, and she has got her 4th point of the game. And now another long pass almost overthrown there and almost lost again there by Megan Winfield on the right side of the key. She's going to pass it inside to Layla Norris, who passes it back out to Megan Winfield with a long 3 over the head of Izzy Hickey, and Winfield with a great 3-pointer from right outside the top of the key. Mountain View trying to get over the half-court line. This is great full-court defense by Lander, just not hard enough, and now almost a turnover thanks to Kiara Friday's hands, but they're going to get it inside the paint and a block. And Adeline Anderson is going to pick up her 2nd foul. And that is going to be a shooting foul, which is going to send number 2, number 24, Haley Porter to the line. Porter already has 6 points, looking for number 7 and 8 here. First shot is up and off the side of the iron. And we have some substitutions coming in. Aislinn Donahue coming in. I did not see who got out. You got Donahue, Friday, Winfield, and Layla Norris on the court, as well as McFadden for Lander. And the second shot by Porter up and off the back of the iron. And a scrummage for the ball, and Lander's going to get away with it. And they're going to try and do some pace play here as they pass to the left side outside. Megan Winfield goes inside, a little shot right by the free throw line, and it banks right in off of the top of the iron. And now Mountain View trying to get back in here. 24, Haley Porter passes it out to Jada Kinnison on the top of the key. Kinnison puts up a 3, and that is good. Nothing but net. And now Lander's coming way up. She's going to try and go 3-on-1 here, and she's going to try and stop on the outside of the paint. Passes it back out, and that is Winfield for another 3, and that is an air ball. And it's going to go out of bounds, and the air ball chat has started here. Mountain View still facing full court pressure. 1:35 left to go in the first quarter. Mountain View up 7, 19-12. And they just get it over the half-court line, and it is a nice passing themselves open, and a great pass inside to McKinley Cavolo, who is fouled on her shot and one. She is going to go to the line to try and get her 7th point of the game. And I believe that foul was on Megan Winfield. No, it was on Kiera Friday. And that is her first foul. Shot is up, and it is good for McKinley Cavolo. Now Kendall McFadden trying to get it in, and Layla Norris passes it up to Megan Winfield, and it is now up over the post and just off of the off the iron for Aislinn Donahue. Mountain View coming up to the top of the keys. Jada Kinnison. She's trying to call a play. She passes the ball off to Addison Hickey. And inside, nice pass to Haley Porter, who gets her 8th point of the game so far in the first quarter. And now it is Megan Winfield dribbling up court. She's trying to go in, and she gets stopped. Now top of the key, we have Layla Norris, and she's going to put up a 3, and that is going to be off the backboard, off the back of the iron, actually. No good. Rebound Mountain View, and they get over, and now they're going to try and pass it inside. A little tough push there, but not purposeful. And Mountain View will throw it out of bounds. I believe it was last touched by Lander. Yes, it is. We have a lot of substitutions coming in. We got Kiera Friday coming out and Darian Bell coming in. 40 seconds left to go. 24-12 Mountain View. Nice inbound pass underneath the paint, and she is fouled. That was Cammie Kinnison, fouled on the shot by Darian Bell. That will be her first. Cammie Kinnison up to the line. Her first shot is going to be up. She gets real low to the ground, puts the legs into it, and she has got her first points of the game. Kinnison, now her second free throw coming up. 38.2 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 25-12, Mountain View leading on our Wild Today scoreboard. And both of Kinnison's shots go in. Now Lander needs to try and get something started here, maybe heading to the second quarter with some momentum. Darian Bell with the ball on the right side of the key. She moves to the top of the key, passes it off to Kendall McFadden, who does a little pick and roll, gives it back right out to Layla Norris, top of the key here. They're trying to get inside. Little give and go action. Oh, bad pass. It was actually a good pass. She was just stuck in between 3 Mountain View players, was Megan Winfield, and that ball goes out of bounds. It is Mountain View ball. Mountain View inbounds it to Cammie Kinnison. She's going to pass it out to Jada Kinnison, and then over half court to Izzy Hickey. Nice passing. Oh, my goodness, a little lean back pass, and it is good to McKinley Cavolo for her. Oh, nice pass here, trying to get inside, and the ball is going to go off the foot of Addison Hickey, and it will be Lander's ball with 2.4 seconds to go. They're going to make some substitutions. Adeline Anderson and Kiera Friday coming in. Kendall McFadden and Aislinn Donahue coming out. So it will be Darian Bell doing the inbound pass. She's going to try. They have to get a fast shot off. Adeline Anderson goes in, and she doesn't even know that she needs to shoot it, and she doesn't. At the end of one, it is 28-12 Mountain View. On our WYO Today scoreboard, we will be right back with the second quarter right after this.
The staff and board at the Fremont County Fair wish to thank everyone who attended the fair this year. Whether you enjoyed Family Day, a night event, entered a craft show, or showed your livestock, thank you for all your efforts. We'll be moving and grooving next year, so stay tuned.
From the wide open spaces to the canyon near you, Wyoming.com is reaching more homes and businesses than ever before. For more than 25 years, we've aimed to provide the best internet and phone service to meet the needs of our customers all across the great state of Wyoming. Now it's getting even better. Wyoming.com, expanding to an area near you. Wyoming.com. We're out there.
Central Wyoming College now offers Bachelor of Applied Science degrees in Early Childhood Education and Organizational Management and Leadership, with an emphasis in outdoor education, tribal leadership, or business and entrepreneurial leadership. CWC offers 3 ways to learn: online, virtual, and in person. Learn, grow, lead, and advance at Central Wyoming College. CWC is leading the way with expanded programs in the Bachelor of Applied Science degrees.
Welcome back. Second quarter already underway as Mountain View misses 2 shots but gets 2 rebounds, both of them thanks to Haley Porter. And now they're going to try and play something here. Jada Kinnison over to Cami Kinnison on the top of the key, trying to get someone open here as Haley Porter steps out, passes it to Izzy Hickey, and now Jada Kinnison for a long 3 at the top of the key, and Lander rebounds it. A little bit of a mess up on the rebound, but either way, Lander gets the ball, and they're going to pass it real quick down to Darian Bell on the right side of the key. She's going to shoot. Oh, no, she's going to pull it down. And number 23, Megan Winfield now trying to get inside the paint, and she does. She puts up a weak layup. She might have been fouled, and yes, she was. Winfield's going to go to the line on a shooting foul by 23. That is McKinley Cavolo, and that is her first. Winfield, first shot up and off the back of the iron. Big thank you to Ernie Over for letting me come out and do this game by myself. Hope you're feeling better. I know last week was rough. We had back-to-back games, and his voice was not prepared for that. Neither was mine. Megan Winfield, second shot up and good. Mountain View now facing no full court pressure anymore, so they're going to go easily down over the half court line, and a nice steal by Megan Winfield, and she gets kind of turned around, but she's still going to go up for the paint. And off the backboard, wild shot, no good, but Lander rebounds it and puts a shot up, and it is good by Layla Norse. Used a little bit of the back iron there over 2 different Mountain View players. Mountain View now going up top of the key. Jada Kinnison over to Cami Kinnison, now inside the paint to Charlie Porter, back out to the top of the key. And Haley Porter goes in easily and gets the bank off the backboard for 2. 30-15, 6:32 left to go in the second quarter. And wow, what a nice spin move inside, but the shot is off for Kiera Friday and rebounded by Mountain View. And now 2-on-1 and an easy pass inside. She misses off the inside of the iron, does Izzy Hickey, and steps out of bounds. Turnover Mountain View. Lander going to call a timeout and figure out what they want to do here. Down 15 with 6 minutes, 18 seconds to go in the second quarter on our Wild Today scoreboard. You're listening to 93.1 KFCW, and we're streaming on Wild Today YouTube. Back after this.
Wish all the Lander Valley Tiger teams good luck this year. Wyoglass is locally owned and operated in Lander. They bleed green. Call or stop in today to get a quote on a window or get a quick fix on your window for a rock chip. Wyoglass is Lander.
From one corner of the state to the other, over 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. And to the 18% who don't, we say, let's buckle up for life, Wyoming.
At some point, everyone is a pedestrian.
When you're driving, yield to pedestrians.
Wear light clothing. Walk on a pathway instead of the road.
Look out for pedestrians.
Avoid distractions like your phone. Look out for pedestrians, they're everywhere. We are the Wyoming and Lady Chiefs. We need you in our stand.
Welcome back to Mountain View as Megan Winfield dribbles it up past the half-court line to the top of the key. She's looking for a nice inbound pass, and she just throws it a little wide left of Kiera Friday, and it goes out of bounds, so turnover on Lander. Oh, no, they're saying it was touched by Mountain View. I had a great look at that. That wasn't touched by any white jersey. So Lander getting kind of a lucky break here. Layla Norse to inbound it. She's going to pass it inside to Megan Winfield. She goes down the baseline, back out to the left side of the key. To the top of the key now is Darian Bell. She does a little juke move, tries to get inside the paint, gets it inside. Oh, and then turnover by Layla Norse in the paint, and Mountain View now has it on the top of the key as Kinnison passes it off to Haley Porter. She's going to dribble around, look for a nice little pass, and she's going to pass it back out to Izzy Hickey. Hickey back out to Jada Kinnison. And now nice steal there by Layla Norse, making up for her turnover there. Nice big pass across the court, and Megan Winfield up way, way high off the backboard for 3 and rebounded by Mountain View. Jada Kinnison for Mountain View bringing it to the top of the key. Almost got away with a travel there. Izzy Hickey passes it inside to Cami Kinnison, who was fouled on her shot from about 5 feet out. And that looked like a shooting foul on Darian Bell, I believe. Let's see. Yep, Darian Bell with her second penalty. And going to the line again will be Cammie Kinnison. Her 2 points in the game have come from 2 free throws. Let's see if she can make her third. Puts it up and off the back of the iron. And there's a lot of substitutions coming in right now. You got Darian Bell, you got Kiera Friday coming off, and I saw Kendall McFadden and Aislinn Donahue come in. I did not see who came in for Mountain View. I apologize, Mountain View listeners and viewers. Cammie Kinnison up for her third point, coming from that made free throw. Now Kinnison will come out, and replacing her will be Miley Mitchell. Layla Norris on the inbound pass. They're going to face full court pressure here by Mountain View. She gets it inside to Megan Winfield, who's going to dribble it up past the half-court line. She's going to make a nice move, try and get in the paint, finds an open Kendall McFadden on the left side, didn't take the shot, goes back out to Layla Norris, who's going to run the baseline, and she is blocked. But Kendall McFadden gets the block back, and now Aislinn Donahue trying to find a way in, and she doesn't. She passes it back out to Winfield. Winfield for three. Megan Winfield with her second three of the game. 31-18, just under 5 minutes to go in this second quarter on our Wild Today scoreboard. Mountain View out to the top of the key. Jada Kinnison passes it back out to Miley Mitchell, who's going to go inside the paint and off the backboard, off the front of the iron. Rebound Lander. Lander looking for a long pass. She gets it to Megan Winfield. Another three. Does she have it? No, it comes off the back of the iron, but rebounded by Aislinn Donahue. Puts it up and shoots it over the rim. Rebound by Mountain View. Mountain View trying to get inside the paint with Jada Kinnison. She steps back, a little bit of a shot. She falls, misses the shot, and rebound by Layla Norris, her second straight rebound. Layla going all the way up, and she passes it out to Donahue, who's trying to get it inside to McFadden. She does. Back out to Donahue. Layla Norris back out to Kendall McFadden on the left side of the key, and she puts up a little floater off the backboard, rebounded by Mountain View. Mountain View, the long pass down into the baseline, who's going to give it back out to Jada Kinnison, and a nice little floater there from the paint, and she misses off the iron, and rebound Kendall McFadden. Lander moving, there's nobody in front of her, and she falls. Oh, yeah, she had an open lane to the basket, falls, and they're going to call a trip on Izzy Hickey. That's her second foul. We're going to have some substitutions coming in here. Layla Norris being replaced by Sandra St. Clair. This is the first time we've called her name tonight. And Kendall McFadden going to inbound the pass here. Underneath the basket. She's going to try and get it out to Zoe Mulholland, who passes it back out to Megan Winfield. Back into Mulholland. She turns around. Nice little spin move, and she's got her pocket picked. And almost steps out of bounds is Mountain View, but they pass it out, and now they are on the attack. Nice outside pass to the key. A little paint action there, and McKinley Cavolo has 2 easy points under the basket. Sandra St. Clair dribbles it up, trying to get a little bit of pressure on Miley Mitchell. She pulls back, holds the ball, trying to find a pass outlet, and it is stolen by Cammie Kinnison. Kinnison with the nice look inside the paint on the go on the fast break, and that is points by 24, Haley Porter. And it is now 35-18 quickly. Landers going down 17 points. They were down by only about 10 just a few minutes ago. Megan Winfield, top of the key, a little spin move. Out to Aislinn Donahue, tries to run up the baseline, doesn't, and gets her pocket picked again. That is Addison Hickey stealing the ball, and now Kinnison, top of the key, going to pass it out to Mitchell. Mitchell on the right side of the key, tries to get inside the paint, loses the ball, and gets back control, passes it to Addison Hickey inside the paint. So easy for McKinley Cavolo, just getting around anybody that she wants. The outlet pass here now going to the right side of the key to Sandra St. Clair. She goes inside and off the hands of Aislinn Donahue. They're saying it was knocked out by Mountain View, though. A little bit of a breather here. Mountain View going to substitute in. Donahue going to come out, and it looks like Kiera Friday coming back in. Kendall McFadden inbounding the ball. Passes it in to Zoe Mulholland. Passes it out to the outside where Megan Winfield is trying to dribble it up and picks up the ball. Tried to get inside pass to Mulholland, but it was stolen. Not the best pass here. And now Mountain View on the attack inside the paint. Number 10, Addison Hickey with her first points of the game. And now Lander just trying to stop the bleeding here. Oh, and almost a steal there by Mountain View, but Kiera Friday gets it back, passes it out to McFadden. And now Mulholland going to take a 12-footer way short. Rebounded, if you want to call it that, by Mountain View. The air ball was just picked up out of the air, and Kinnison going to pass it inside the paint. Nice pass, but off the back of the iron for Charlie Porter, rebounded by Lander. Lander picks up their shot, almost travels there, but nice little rebound there. And it is going to be Sandra St. Clair at the top of the key, out to Winfield on the right side. She's going to try and dribbles between her leg, gets into the paint almost, and spins, passes it back out to McFadden. McFadden trying to do the same thing, passes it back out to Winfield. The Mountain View defense is not letting them get close to the basket, and they're going to call a push on Haley Porter. So not a shooting foul. That is the 5th team foul on Mountain View. Lander also with 5 team fouls. Everyone kind of catching their breath here. It's a fast-paced game so far. Lots of fast break points coming from both Mountain View and Lander. Mountain View obviously with the most, 39-18 lead for Mountain View on their home court with just under a minute left. And nice inbound pass, and off the back of the iron was Sandra St. Clair's three-pointer. Mountain View rebounds it. They're going to come up to the top of the key, and she's got no one in front of her. And she is fouled, is Izzy Hickey, as she tries to go up. Boy, there was nobody in front of her for quite a while, and as soon as Lander noticed it, they went up and fouled her. And I missed who that foul was on. Who was that foul on? 11. Foul on number 11, Zoe Mulholland. That's her first. Luckily, I'm sitting behind the scorekeepers here. It's very difficult to run camera and run stats and do everything else on the computer. And first free throw is made by Izzy Hickey. And Hickey for her second shot here. Trying to make it 41-18, Mountain View. Shot is up, and it is good. Hickey with 6 points now in the game. Coach Melinda Cox holding up the number 4, obviously hoping that this play call will get her some points to go into halftime, as it is 42.6 seconds left. And the pass is good inside to Kiera Friday. Kiera Friday brings it out to the left side of the key as Sandra St. Clair trying to get the pick and roll going. Doesn't work. Back out to, air ball by Winfield from the left side of the key, and rebounded by Mountain View. Mountain View going to probably take the last shot here with 25 seconds left. Kinnison to Kinnison. Kinnison inside to McKinley Cavolo, and she is fouled on the shot. She's going to go to the line with 18.5 seconds left. Foul on 22, Sandra St. Clair. That is her first. McKinley Cavolo, the Mountain View leading scorer, already has, she averages 14.7 points, and that first free throw is good. She now has 14 points already in the first half. Cavolo, 18.5 seconds left, 42-18 on our WYO Today scoreboard. Cavolo's second shot up and off the iron, rolling around, and no good. Rebounded by Mulholland of Lander, and they're going to try and finally take the last shot. Pass to Kendall McFadden on the right side of the top of the key. Inside now to the top of the key is Kiera Friday. Passes it back out to McFadden. McFadden almost has her pocket picked, and Kiera Friday with a nice rebound puts up a last-second shot from way outside, and it is no good. So heading into halftime, Mountain View 42, Lander Valley 18, and Lander going to try and stop the bleeding here. Hopefully, come out of the halftime in the second half with a little bit more energy, and we will be right back with our halftime show sponsored by Central Wyoming College.
From the field to the court, to the pool, and beyond. Fremont County athletes give their blood, sweat, and tears for their teammates and community. Why compromise that with alcohol or marijuana? Help your athlete make the most of their playing time by avoiding the dangers and impact that substance use can have on their performance and future. For more resources and information, visit FremontCountyPrevention.com.
At Teton Therapy, our people make the difference. You can live pain-free. The amazing staff at Teton Therapy can help in Lander and Riverton.
When repairs are complete after a collision, you expect your car, SUV, or truck to look like new. That's the service you'll receive at Stork Auto Body in Riverton. Professionalism and meticulous attention to detail. You can depend on Stork Auto Body, 841 Miniweb Avenue, Riverton.
If your vehicle needs repair, you can depend on the crew at Extra Care Auto Repair. They can repair almost anything with wheels, gas, diesel, domestic, or import, and their work is top quality and reliable. Extra Care Auto Repair on North Federal in Riverton.
Welcome back to our halftime show sponsored by Central Wyoming College. Remember, you can get your bachelor's degree online, and you can go to cwc.edu, check out all of their different programs they have. Central Wyoming College, make your way out here. And as you can see on our WYO Today's YouTube page, we have the Mountain View cheerleaders giving the performance to the student section and Mountain View side of the bleachers. Lander's got quite a lot of people here that made the 3.5-hour journey like I did on the beautiful roads all the way down south to the southwestern side of Wyoming. This is my first time down here, and boy, the drive was a beautiful drive. Cannot express that enough. It's going to be a little difficult driving back tonight in the dark without all that beauty to look at, but we will manage. And some stats. In the first half, Mountain View outscored Lander 28-12 in the first quarter and 14-6 in the second quarter, which gives us the score 42-18 that it is at halftime right now. For Lander, not a lot of scoring in the second quarter. Obviously only 6 points. 4 of those were by Megan Winfield. One of them was off a three-pointer and a free throw. Layla Norris got the other 2 points in that quarter. So at the moment, Darian Bell with a three-pointer in the first quarter has all of her points. That's 3 points. Aislinn Donahue with 2 in the first quarter. She only has 2 now. Layla Norris with 2. Megan Winfield leading the Lady Tigers with 9. And Adeline Anderson almost getting into foul trouble. She has 2 fouls as well as Darian Bell. Anderson has 2 points in the game. Over on the home team side, the 13-0 Mountain View Lady Buffaloes. Right now, Jada Kinnison has 5 points, all in the first quarter. Addison Hickey has 2 points, which came in the second quarter. Cammie Kinnison, all of her points off of free throws. She has 3. Isabel Hickey has 6 points. McKinley Cavolo has already almost hit her average. She has 14 points already in the game, scoring 9 in the first quarter and 5 in the second. And Hallie Porter, or Haley Porter, I'm just going to keep saying both just in case her parents are listening. I'm sure they're here at the game, though, so maybe they aren't. If they are, I apologize. If it's Hallie or Haley, I'm going to keep saying both. Porter with 12 points in the first half, and that will give you 42 points total for Mountain View. Right now, all Lander needs to do, like I said, I keep using the term stop the bleeding. They need to find a way to stop those inbound passes from being so clean and not touched at all. Lander needs to find a way to disrupt all of those passes into the paint. As far as Mountain View, they just need to keep doing what they're doing. They're holding Lander to a lot of three-point shots because they're not able to get inside the paint. Right now, Lander really only surviving right now off of 3 separate three-pointers, 2 by Megan Winfield, 1 by Darian Bell. If it weren't for those 3-pointers, it'd be 9-42. And they keep chucking up a lot of threes. I don't know if they have a lot of plans to get inside the paint. Coach Melinda Cox told us at the beginning of the year her team is small, but they are shifty. They like to shoot. They have a good stroke. And honestly, at the beginning of the season, they were missing a few of their main players. Kira Friday wasn't there when we last called their game. Layla Norris, I believe, was ill when we last called their game. They were relying a lot inside the paint on Adeline Anderson, which is what they're doing right now as well. Anderson can't be your only outlet inside the paint, as most of their players are under 6 feet. Adeline Anderson looks to be about 5'10", 5'11", and she is just looking dominated underneath the paint as Mountain View's just too tall, too big, out-rebounding them by quite a lot. And the Lander boys now, as well as the Mountain View boys, getting some shots in at halftime. Their game taking place directly after this. Don't turn your dial. And the Lander boys definitely having a much better season than the Lander girls, as the Tigers come into this game. We'll give you a little preview. They come into this game 7-3. They went on a 7-game win streak, lost to Warland in the championship for the Bighorn Basin tournament last weekend. Meanwhile, the Mountain View boys only 2-10 coming in, and they are not having their best season. They are at the bottom of the Southwest Division, while Lander is at the top. Lander, outside of Douglas, actually is tied for the second best record with Warland, who they lost to. So Warland has that 1-win advantage over them, the head-to-head. And with 3.5 minutes left to go in halftime, we're going to go right back to our sponsors, pay some bills. You are listening to Lander Valley coverage on 93.1 KFCW, home of the Lander Tigers and Lady Tigers, and we are streaming on Wild Today's YouTube page.
Plan can be the difference between wins and losses. The same can be said about your mental health. Making a game plan to talk to your children can make a huge impact on them and help make them feel supported and listened to. The good news is, this winning game plan isn't hard to implement. All it takes is you starting the conversation and being ready to talk. If you need helpful resources and tools, you can visit FremontCountyPrevention.com.
It's more than clocking in or collecting a paycheck. We are a network of caring professionals who want to be here, dedicated to serving our communities. We are Sage West Healthcare, our 2 campus hospitals in Riverton and Lander. We take pride in our region, our people, and our communities. Located in beautiful central Wyoming, filled with natural recreation in our own backyard. We are neighbors caring for neighbors, a community caring for its own. We are Sage West. We are recruiting the best, like you.
Natural Health Solutions offers treatments for a variety of conditions, along with nutritional counseling, chiropractic, acupuncture, and more. Treatment plans designed individually to optimize your health. Call for an appointment, 856-8181 today.
Welcome back to our Central Wyoming College halftime show here in Mountain View. 42-18, all Lady Buffaloes at the half. A minute and a half to go in this halftime show, and I just want to remind everyone, this is my first game doing play-by-play, first game doing it all alone. I would love some constructive criticism underneath the YouTube page in the comments. I don't mind if it's terrible or if it's not even really constructive, but love to get some feedback here. I always have Ernie Over to lean on, especially during football season, and I had Kevin Shields to lean on during the Riverton football games and baseball games that we were calling earlier in the year. So I'd love some constructive criticism, and I'd love the comments in our YouTube page to be full up. And if you don't want to leave a constructive criticism, I'd love for you to leave your predictions for this week's NFL football games. How about that? You got 4 divisional games. Tell me who's going to win all 4 in the comments. If you're right, maybe we can give you a Gatorade, or who knows. We'll figure out something. A couple scores before we get back to the second half. I got some scores from all around Fremont County. Right now, Lady Chiefs out in Wyoming beating Kemmerer by 5, 22-17 at halftime. Thermopolis girls losing to Powell at the end of the third. It's 44-26. They just played Powell last week, I'm pretty sure. And after 1 quarter in Riverton, the Lady Wolverines are up on Rock Springs 12-11. That was our Central Wyoming College halftime show. Remember, you can go down to their Central Wyoming College campus, check out their 4-year programs as well as their online bachelor's degree options that'll let you get your degree from home. Central Wyoming College, make your way out here. Lander really needs to come out with a lot of intensity, a lot of energy. Otherwise, this rebounding game of Mountain View is just going to lead to an even bigger score. Boy, we got a lot of Lander fans here. Props to them for making the drive out here. I know it was a little bit snowy this morning. Riverton got about a ½ inch of snow, give or take. And the inbound pass to Darian Bell. coming in. She's going to go over the half-court line. She's going to stop, try and pass the ball off to Kiera Friday. Kiera Friday moves around a little bit and passes it back out to Darian Bell, and it is out of bounds off of her hands. First possession for Lander goes poorly. Turnover, and it will be Mountain View ball. Jada Kinnison going to come up to the half-court line, pass it. No full-court pressure like earlier in the game. She gets a spin around Darian Bell, gets into the paint, passes it back out to Haley Porter, who brings it out to the top of the key. Nice little give and go to Izzy Hickey. Back out to Kinnison, back out to Haley Porter on the top of the key, and Porter's going to try and make a run at the paint. She's going to pass it back out to Hickey. Hickey back out to Jada Kinnison, who puts up a long three. No good, but rebounded by Mountain View. Kinnison back with the ball, top of the key. She's going to pass to her sister, Cammie Kinnison. And now on the right side of the key, she's going to do a nice little outlet pass in between two Lander Tigers. And it is going to go off the hands of a Lander Lady Tiger. Good pass, though, as McKinley Cavolo just towers over all these Lady Tigers inside the paint. Inbound pass all the way out to the top of the key, and they're going to try and do the same thing again with Cavolo. She's going to lose the ball, though, and it's going to be stolen, picked up by Darian Bell, who stops at the half-court line, tries to get her team all set up for a play, picks up her ball, picks up the dribble, and bad pass, but she gets it back and into Adeline Anderson, back out to Kiera Friday, who puts up a little floater. Could have been an and one there, but it is good. Kiera Friday with the first points of the second half. Jada Kinnison out to the right side of the key, over to Izzy Hickey. Hickey picks up her dribble over to the left side of the key to Haley Porter, who tries to go inside the paint on Anderson. And the shot goes a little haywire. Looks like a foul on the shot on 24, Kiera Friday. That is her second penalty. Shooting foul now is going to bring Haley Porter to the free throw line, where she has not been yet today. Porter with 12 points, looking for 13 here. And she has it. Haley Porter with 13 points. 43-20, 6:35 to go in our third quarter on our Wild Today's scoreboard. And Porter's second shot, no good. And looked like it was rebounded by Mountain View, and I think she threw it off the ankles of Lander, or vice versa, because Lander's going to get the ball. It's going to be inbounded here by Kiera Friday. Full court pressure by Mountain View, even though they're up by 23 points. And Friday going to bring it up over the half-court line, trying to, and she does. Nice pick and roll, but the spin move, and she almost loses the ball out to Darian Bell on the top of the key. Passes it inside to Adeline Anderson. Nice little spin move, and it was partially blocked. Short, rebounded by Mountain View. Quick passing up here, and now stolen by Anderson. And it's going to be 2-on-1, and it's going to be Darian Bell. She's going to go to the left side of the key instead of going into the paint. Top of the key now to Layla Norris. Puts up a three, no good, off the back of the iron. Rebound, Mountain View. And Mountain View really, really trying to get past this sticky defense. Looks like a timeout by no. We have a full timeout by Mountain View, as they were going to not get it over the half-court line in 10 seconds. And we will take that timeout with them back in a minute.
Why should you choose Lander Medical Clinic or Western Family Care for your health care? In addition to 4 locations in Fremont County, they also provide telehealth. Telehealth can be your go-to answer when you're out of town, on the road, or just can't get to urgent care. All you need is a good internet connection. To schedule a telehealth appointment, call 332-2941 today. That's 332-2941. Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care. With telehealth, they're putting your health first every time. You need an oil change, but you don't have a lot of time. Expressway Lubes on South Federal in Riverton and Highway 789 in Lander provide a fast, professional lube oil and filter change. Expressway Lubes, locally owned and proud to support our local student athletes.
And welcome back out here to Mountain View, as I have gotten some names. It's Hallie Porter, it's Covelo, and it is Charlie Porter, not Charlie Porter. So, Mountain View with the ball, just under 6 minutes to go. Right side of the key is Cammie Kinnison. Nice inbound pass, blocked by Layla Norris, and then blocked again and picked up by Adeline Anderson. Nice pass out to Darian Bell on the right side of the half court, and now she's going to pass it out to the left side of the key. Winfield for three. It's good. Another three by Megan Winfield, her third of the game. She just came into the game, too. Now it is Jada Kinnison trying to get into the paint. Nice little spin move. Oh, that should have been a travel, but the ball is short anyway. Rebound by Lander and passed out. Now it is going to be Layla Norris trying to apply some pressure here. Top of the key out to Darian Bell to the right side. I see McFadden's about to come in. Don't know who for. Darian Bell putting up a three, and she makes another three. Darian Bell with her second three of the game. She has 6 points, and it is 43-26. Lander scoring back-to-back three-pointers here. Mountain View trying to get something going inside the paint, passing back out to Jada McKinnison. Puts up a wild shot. Don't know if it was blocked or not. Either way, rebounded by Lander, and there is no one home. And Winfield inside the paint against no one, and she misses the easy layup. Rebound Mountain View. Oh, some tough defense here by Darian Bell. Back out to Cammie Kinnison on the outside of the key, very far outside of the key. She's trying to get someone to go across the paint. And now to the right side of the post here is Izzy Hickey. Back out to the top of the key. Now to the left side to Jada Kinnison. Out to Cammie Kinnison. She's going to put up a three. Way short off the iron, and no one was trying to rebound it for Lander. Easy rebounded points for Izzy Hickey. Now Darian Bell trying to push it up against Jada Kinnison. Top of the key, doing a little spin move. Nice pass to Winfield. Almost got away from Winfield, but she's got it. She passes out to the left side of the key to Aislinn Donahue, just came in. Winfield inside. Nice turnaround jumper just off the back of the iron. Rebound, Mountain View. And now Cammie Kinnison coming up against a bunch of green jerseys. Passes it out to Jada Kinnison. Now top of the key to Porter. Back out to Izzy Hickey on the right side. And top of the key, Kinnison, Cammie Kinnison with a three-pointer from the top of the key with a hand in her face. It is 48-26, just over 3 minutes to go in the third. Adeline Anderson going to get it at the top of the key. She's going to put up a three. You don't see that very often. It is off the top of the front of the iron and rebounded by Mountain View. Now Mountain View trying to keep this going. Jada Kinnison, top of the key, over to Cammie Kinnison. Another three off the back of the iron, rebounded by the very tall Hallie Porter. Back out to Jada Kinnison. And she's going to try and get past Darian Bell, and she's going to pass it off to Hallie Porter. Hallie Porter going up against four green jerseys in the paint, and she misses the shot. Rebound Adeline Anderson, and now look at this. Layla Norris all alone. Puts up the easy layup, and that is how you do it. Little cherry picking, never hurt anyone. And now Jada Kinnison coming up against Darian Bell at the top of the key. She's going to pass it off to Izzy Hickey. Nice outlet pass inside the paint. Wow, against 2 or 3 Lander players. McKinley Cavolo with the two-pointer and a timeout by Lander. Try and stop the bleeding. 50-28, 2:34 to go here in the third quarter on our Wild Today scoreboard. We'll be right back.
A proud sponsor of this broadcast is Bailey Enterprises. For over 50 years, Bailey has become the name you can trust. With Pit Stop Travel Centers, you can fuel up and stock up on trip snacks at locations all over Fremont County. You can also put your trust in Bailey Tire and Auto for service to keep handy for those times when your luck runs out on the road. Refresh at the Speedway Cafe with a dine-in meal or a round of carry-out with a variety of specials to keep you going. Go with Bailey.
Your car or truck is an investment. When it needs repairs, you need someone you can trust to do the job right. Take it to Gunners Automotive. They repair all makes and models of cars and trucks, from oil changes to brakes, tires, and more. Gunners Automotive, 856-2288.
Welcome back to Mountain View as Lander gets the inbound pass to 34. Hayden Goggles is in the game, and off to 24. Kiera Friday for a nice pass, or inside pass for points there. 2 points by Kiera Friday. As to the right side of the key, wow, a three-pointer by Miley Mitchell with a hand in her face. Almost looked like it was going to be blocked. And Goggles speeding down the court, trying to get something offensively started. Off to Kiera Friday, who's going to take it to the left side of the key. Off to Sandra St. Clair at the top of the key. Trying to get inside, and she does to the paint. Nice give and go, but off the foot of Kiera Friday. And do we have a foul or just a trip? Either way, it's going to be Mountain View ball. I think it is going to be a foul here. Foul on 11, Zoe Mulholland. That's her second. 2 team fouls here for Lander, none for Mountain View in this second half. It's going to be Miley Mitchell taking it up the court here. going against Sandra St. Clair, passes it off to Cammie Kinnison. Inside, almost stolen, but shot up by McKinley Cavolo, and it is off the top of the iron and rebounded by Lander. Kendall McFadden trying not to lose the ball, gets it back, passes it out to Sandra St. Clair on the left side of the key, and nice little outlet pass inside to Mulholland. Sandra St. Clair with a little floater off the front of the rim, rebounded Mountain View. Kinnison, way bad, way long pass off the charts here, and it is stolen by Goggles. Inside to Sandra St. Clair, shot partially blocked, rebounded by Goggles. Back out to St. Clair for three, off the front of the iron, rebounded Mountain View. Oh, and not a foul on Goggles as Mountain View player tripped, and on a pass inside, it's going to go out of bounds on Mulholland. We're going to have a lot of substitutions here. We got Brianna Lincoln and Adeline Anderson coming in for Kiera Friday and Sandra St. Clair. And I saw Jada Kinnison come back in the game. I believe her sister came out, yes. So Miley Mitchell with the inbound pass, trying to find something, and almost stolen by Mulholland. And before that, they were about to have a 5-second violation, so the Mountain View coach, Jessica Moretti, calls a timeout. And just a 30-second timeout. We will be right back on 93.1 KFCW, and we're streaming on Wild Today YouTube.
Wyoming Community Bank is ready to serve you. Stop in at any one of their branches located in Riverton, Lander, and DuBois. A bank that is owned and operated by the locals of Fremont County. Wyoming Community Bank. They're here to help you. Community Health Centers of Central Wyoming has locations across Fremont County ready to serve you at DuBois Medical Clinic, Riverton Community Health, and Lander Community Health Pediatrics. We accept all forms of insurance, including Medicaid and Medicare. Are you struggling to get medical care? Ask for their sliding fee scale. From family medicine to pediatrics, Community Health Centers are here to serve you. Call 307-463-7160 or visit chccw.org to schedule your appointment.
Welcome back. Inbound pass by Mountain View out to the top of the key where Jada Kinnison will have it. She's going to go up against Brianna Lincoln and passes it back out to Miley Mitchell on the right side of the key and inside the paint. Oh, is that going to be a foul? That is going to be a foul. Charlie Porter was, oh no, they're just going to call it a jump ball, which means possession arrow Lander. She was swarmed inside the paint by two Lander players. Lincoln, nice pass out here to Goggles. Goggles inside to Mulholland. Mulholland trying to turn around, picks up her dribble, and now Lincoln at the free throw line. 2 points, good. Brianna Lincoln with her first points of the game. Landers put in two of their taller girls, Adeline Anderson and Mulholland, to try and stop the pressure underneath the paint. It's working so far as they're going to go inside the paint, and the turnaround jumper good by Charlie Porter over Mulholland, and Goggles speeding down to the left side of the key. She's going to pass it over to the far left side of the key, and a travel on Goggles. The ref saw it. I don't know if we saw it, but my camera was in front of me, so a turnover there by Lander. Inbound to Jada Kinnison, who's going to go up to the top of the key and fire off a huge long three at the end of the quarter. No good. And at the end of three, it is 55-32 Mountain View. We'll be right back with the last 8 minutes of play here as the Lady Buffaloes look to go 14-0. Lander still trying to make that upset happen.
High Plains Power is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative. What does that mean for you as a Rural Electric Association member? It all comes down to 7 principles: open membership, one voice, one vote, member benefits, independence, education, cooperation, and community. To understand how it all works, we're headed back in time. In 1879, electricity was in major cities, but rural areas were out of luck. In 1935, President FDR made it possible for companies to build power lines to unserved areas. By the time we hit 1941, some 400 electric co-ops had been organized to serve rural America, just like High Plains Power. For more information, visit highplainspower.org.
Welcome back here to Mountain View as the fourth quarter is about to begin. I do have a final score from Thermopolis. Powell Lady Panthers beating the Lady Bobcats 58-32. Remember, the Lady Bobcats were 0-8 heading into the Bighorn Basin Shootout Tournament last week, won their first 2 to get into the semifinal, and lost, I believe, that game to Powell as well. So their last 2 losses coming against Powell. Mountain View going to start with the ball. Jada Kinnison at the top of the key. Nice little pick and roll. She's going to put up a shot off the backboard. No good. Rebounded by Kiera Friday, who's going to push it up to Darian Bell on the left side of the key. Nice pass out there to Layla Norris, top of the key. Back out to Kiera Friday. She's going to think about putting up a shot. Nice little pass inside, which goes back out to the left side of the key. And Layla Norris puts up a wild shot, but it is rebounded by Friday. Friday puts up another shot underneath the basket. No good. Rebound, Mountain View. Mountain View looking to push this, and it's going to be, Cami Kinnison goes all the way court to court and puts the ball up, and it hits the bottom of the backboard. And Mountain View coach looking for a travel there on Layla Norris, but she's going to pass it off to Darian Bell. Into the forecourt now. Darian Bell looking back to back to Layla Norris. Norris looking to go inside. Nice little bounce pass. And, Aislinn Donahue got the pass, put up the shot, but it was partially blocked. These Mountain View girls are tall. They are leading the 3A in blocks, and just like that, they are going to get 2 more points from Izzy Hickey on a nice baseline pass underneath the basket. And now Lander going to just start shooting up some threes, and Winfield's 3 in and out. Rebound, Mountain View. And Izzy Hickey going to push it, and no one underneath the basket as Mountain View's Addison Hickey going to get an easy shot. And looks like Mountain View calling a timeout here. No, it's Lander calling a timeout, and we will take it with them. Going to be a quick 30-second one.
Visit Lander Gambles to make your home feel like new. They will beat any competitor's price. Stop by to speak to one of the sales agents or visit LanderGambles.com. Lander Gambles will help you find the perfect product that fits your budget and lifestyle. Lander Gambles, 420 Main Street, Lander, Wyoming.
Welcome back. We're going to give you a little shot there of the cheerleaders. They have quite a few cheerleaders for this school, being kind of out in the middle of nowhere and so close to 2 different schools, including Lyman, who I kind of had to pass by to get up here. Again, beautiful drive up here. The snow makes it so pretty, and I have to drive through some mountain ranges to get up here from Riverton, where I live, but it is worth it. Not looking forward to the drive back home in the dark, but we get what we get. And speaking of getting what we get, Lander is down 59-32 with 6.5 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter on our WYO Today scoreboard. And on the court for Lander is Zoe Mulholland, Adeline Anderson, the 2 tallest girls, as well as Kendall McFadden, who's going to pass it inside to Brianna Lincoln. And also on the court is Goggles. Goggle hasn't gotten a lot of playing time today except for the JV game, and a turnover there by Brianna Lincoln, who got just kind of caught up in the middle of 2 Mountain View Lady Buffaloes. And now Hallie Porter going to pass it off to Miley Mitchell, rolling around the key now, and now over to Jada Kinnison. They're just passing the ball around, looking to waste some clock. Kinnison on the left side of the key, long cross-court pass to Miley Mitchell on the right side of the key. Tries to get it inside, almost stolen, and it's going to be a jump ball, possession arrow, Lander. So essentially a turnover there. 59-32, nothing's over till it's over. Lander needs to find some scores, though. They're not going to be able to keep plugging the holes here, so to say. Is Brianna Lincoln going to put up a long 2 off the back of the iron? Rebound, Adeline Anderson under the paint. She's going to pass it out to Zoe Mulholland, who's going to try and run up the baseline. Goes back out to Lincoln. Lincoln running inside and got a foul on the pass there, which was going to go, and it is on number 11, Cami Kinnison. First team foul for Mountain View in this second half. Not a lot of fouls in this second half, which is a good thing. Refs just letting them play. McFadden going to pass it over the top to Adeline Anderson off the backboard. No good from the free throw line. Rebound, Mountain View. Cami Kinnison going to come up to the top of the key here. Pass it over to Jada Kinnison. She's going to look for the inside pass. Instead, she passes out to the top of the key. Moves it to the left side of the key is Miley Mitchell. Back out to Cami Kinnison on the top of the key. She makes a dangerous pass inside. Goes back out to the left part of the key there, and a foul on 23 of Mountain View. That is McKinley Cavolo. That's an over the back, it looked like, on Adeline Anderson on the rebound. Inside, almost inside, 5 minutes now. Goggles trying to get around. Big collision right in front of the scorer's table as Adeline Anderson and Miley Mitchell run right into each other, and Mitchell is hurt. And she is in some pain. Coach out here. I'm expecting that we're going to have an injury timeout. And we're just going to take a quick, brief break here. 59-32, 5 minutes, 10 seconds to go.
Help, but not sure where to go? Wyoming Senior Citizen Inc. is looking for caregivers across the state. Call 307-856-6880 to find out more information. They would like to wish all Fremont County athletes good luck this year.
Papa Murphy's is proud to sponsor this week's Player of the Game. For a limited time, enjoy a Papa Murphy's barbecue chicken pizza made with KC Masterpiece barbecue sauce. After the game or anytime, you can't beat the fresh ingredients and authentic flavor of a Papa Murphy's Take and Bake pizza. And you know it's baked right every time because you baked it yourself. Papa Murphy's on North Federal in Riverton. Drop in or order online at papamurphys.com. Go Wolverines!
And back after that injury, she was able to get up on her own, but she was limping to the bench, was Miley Mitchell. And now a nice pass outside to Kendall McFadden. She finds Brianna Lincoln. They're trying to go inside the paint, and now it's going to go back out to the right side of the key. And she is, oh no, player control foul looks like. Nope, a foul on Adeline Anderson inside the paint. That is her third. And Mountain View will get the ball up 27 with just under 5 minutes to go. And wow, she just blows right by Brianna Lincoln. And now number 10, Addison Hickey, hasn't been in the game that much. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's Cammie Kinnison. And now a long pass, and that's going to be tipped inside, but still getting into Mountain View. She is surrounded by 4 Lander jerseys, is McKinley Covelo. And it looks like on the shot she was fouled by Adeline Anderson. That's her 4th, second in a row. And that'll be a shooting foul. Nope, it's going to be, was not on the shot, they're saying. So it's going to be an inbound pass and a full swap here for Lander Valley. You got Megan Winfield coming in. You got Darian Bell coming in. You got Kiara Friday coming in. You got Aislinn Donahue, and you got Layla Norse all filling in. And an inbound pass right under the paint. No good by Cammie Kinnison, but the rebound goes to Mountain View. And now at the top of the key, Jada Kinnison trying to get inside. She's got an open player. Oh, and a bobbled pass there by Izzy Hickey, but she gets control back. Trying to move around. Nice little give and go inside to Cammie Kinnison. And she gets stopped, and she has to pass back out to the top of the key where Hallie Porter has it. Back out to Cammie. And now to Izzy Hickey on the right side of the key. Now far side to the right side. Inside pass. Oh, missed by Hallie Porter off the backboard, but she gets her own rebound. Passes it back out to Jada Kinnison, who puts up a long three. No good. Rebound, McKinley Cavolo, and she has got 2 more points. Coming down the court now. Oh, long pass by Megan Winfield, and it's off the hands of Darian Bell. Another Lander turnover. 61-32, just under 4 minutes to go in this 4th quarter on our Wild Today scoreboard. Mountain View running away with this one. It will look like they're going to be 14-0 at the end of the day. Right side of the key now. Cammie Kinnison gets stuck up. She's going to have to pass it off to Jada Kinnison, who steps out of bounds. Turnover, Mountain View. Little good luck for Lander there. And still up by almost double their points. They're going to provide full court defense is Mountain View. And now it's going to go down the court to Layla Norse. Left side of the key goes to Megan Winfield. Puts up a long three, and it's good again. Megan Winfield with her 4th three of the game. Jada Kinnison now with the ball over to the left side of the key is Izzy Hickey, and she's going to try and put up a little floater. Goes off the iron, rebounded by Cavolo, who is fouled on her putback, which is in. So there's a possible old-fashioned 3-point play here for Mountain View. Starting to get very loud here in Mountain View as the dome really provides a lot of feedback here. Shooting for the 3-point play, Cavolo drops, puts it up, and it is nothing but net. Now full court pressure, going to force Darian Bell to run around some defense. Trying to get it past the half-court line, and she does. She gets past the pick and roll. She's going to stop, pick up her dribble, pass it off to Winfield. Megan Winfield was pushed by Izzy Hickey. That's her 3rd foul. We're going to have Adeline Anderson come in for Aislinn Donahue. Trying to get some of that big body underneath the paint to get some pressure. And the pass is going to go into Anderson on the left side of the key. And it's going to go back out to Darian Bell at the top. She thought about taking it, and she almost did. Megan Winfield now looking for another three. She's going to try and pick up her dribble. Passes it inside to Anderson. She's going to turn around. Little spin move, almost a travel off the backboard. No good. Rebound by Jada Kinnison of Mountain View. And she's going to really push the envelope here. Almost drops the ball, and she does. Steal by Lander. And now it's going to be Kiara Friday over to Darian Bell, over to Layla Norris, and a bodies just hit the floor there by Adeline Anderson, and it turns into a turnover for Lander. Mountain View turns it right back over. Oh, but the steal underneath the basket by Izzy Hickey. Boy, Lander just had their pocket picked underneath the basket, had the ball in her hand, and Hickey just turned around, grabbed it right out of her hand, turned, and put the shot up. I realize now I'm going to take this timeout. I'm going to tell you some third quarter stats. I know we're almost done with the fourth quarter, but I never gave you the stats. It was Lander's Darian Bell who shot a three in the third quarter. Layla Norris had a two-pointer of her own. Megan Winfield had another three-pointer. Kiara Friday had 4 points in the third quarter. That leads her to 4 total. And Brianna Lincoln had a two-pointer. That was 14 points in the third quarter compared to 3, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. They actually outscored Mountain View in that third quarter, 14-13. They are still down, though, by a large margin, 66-35 with 2:20 left to go in the game. It's going to be Megan Winfield with the inbound pass here. She's going to pass it off to Kiara Friday. Full court defense still by Mountain View. Friday over the timeline. Passes it back to Winfield on the left side of the key. She moves to the top. She does a little spin move to get into the paint. Then she passes it back out to the left side of the key where Layla Norris's three is no good. Rebounded by Mountain View. Cammie Kinnison over to the right side of the key. The near side for us. And into a new player, Kalia Pitts, who passes it off to Addison Hickey. They're getting some of their second string players in there. Long three by Cammie Kinnison, no good. Rebounded by Addison Hickey. Back out to Cammie Kinnison. Long cross-court pass here. And number 21, Izzy Hickey, puts up a little 7-foot floater, and it is good. She has 6 points in this quarter alone. Up across the timeline now was Layla Norris. Passes it off to to Kiara Friday. Off to Darian Bell, who tries to spin into the paint, runs into a bunch of white jerseys. And now Lander runs into themselves. Layla Norris trying to get something going. Nice little give-and-go pass, but the bounce pass is stolen by Mountain View. Cammie Kinnison passes it to the easy open look. In there is Hickey again underneath the paint, and it's just too easy for her. She's getting around the defense and just putting it up off the glass. And off the glass herself is Kiara Friday, who puts up a shot. No foul, but she does fall down. Long pass down to Addison Hickey with her 4th point of the fourth quarter. And under 50 seconds to go now. Lander's just trying to get something going. A lot of bodies hitting the ground consistently. No calls, though. Darian Bell, left side, near side, over to Winfield for 3 off the back of the iron. And now it's rebounded, but Layla Norris going to put up a long 2. No good. And now we get a foul as Adeline Anderson hits the ground for the 3rd time on this possession alone. Foul on Kalia Pitts. And we're going to have another full swap here. Looks like Kendall McFadden, Sandra St. Clair, Hayden Goggles, and Brianna Lincoln coming in. Only player that's going to stay out there, it looks like, is Kiara Friday. Yep, Sandra St. Clair out here to the top of the key. She's going to pass it over to Lincoln. Lincoln for the 3 and short, but rebounded by Goggles. Oh, and then as she dribbles it off of her foot out of bounds. Turnover by Lander. 26 seconds to go, 72-35 Mountain View. Mountain View well on their way to a 14-0 start to this season and a 1-0 start in conference play. Lander probably going to go 0-1 here in their first conference game. Little behind the back dribbling. Nice moves here by Cammie Kinnison as she gets the switch that she probably wants here. Over to the right side, near side. Allie Siebert is in the game now for Mountain View, and they're just trying to run out the clock, and they're doing a good job, but Kendall McFadden gets the steal. 2 seconds left. They're going to put up a long 3, and no, they're not. They're going to not get the ball off, and that'll do it. Final score, 72-35. 35, Mountain View. Just a defensive masterclass by Mountain View, getting every rebound possible as they showed why they're the #1 rebounding team in all of 3A. And now that the game is over, we're going to take a quick break, tally up some stats, come back with our players of the game, as well as our Click It or Ticket postgame show. We'll be right back.
Want access to local news, sports, events, and more? Download the WYO Today app. Now available on all platforms. Stream your favorite radio station, submit something to buy, sell, or trade for deals on the dial, or view contests and special coupons. Better yet, the WYO Today app is the best way to access free HD video of Fremont and Hot Springs County athletics. It's all at your fingertips. Head to your app store or visit wyotoday.com to download the WYO Today app now.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
During winter storms, it doesn't take long for roads to turn slick. Snowfall is often accompanied by high winds, and blowing and drifting snow can make it difficult to see the road. Speed limits are based on dry pavement conditions and good visibility. Be ready to reduce speed and increase following distance. Crashes are twice as likely to happen when it's slick out, and it's usually because someone is driving too fast for conditions. Remember, when there's ice and snow, take it slow. This message is brought to you by WYDOT.
When you purchase your car, do you know if you got the best payment possible? The answer is probably no. Oftentimes, your loan is packed with additional charges that can drive your monthly payment higher than it should be, costing you thousands of dollars more for your car. Hi, this is Patty, and here is your second chance to get the payment you deserve. Visit Atlantic City Federal Credit Union today for a courtesy loan review. We've helped our members save money by refinancing their vehicle with us. Now it's your turn. Open your eyes to a credit union. Atlantic City Federal Credit Union.
Welcome back to Mountain View as the Lander Valley Lady Tigers fall to 4-7 and 0-1 in conference, and Mountain View improves to 14-0 and 1-0 in the conference. They're going to be a tough team to beat. We got the boys starting out here. I'm going to put the camera on the Mountain View boys while I give you some stats. Lander Valley only scored 3 points in that fourth quarter, and it came off of a Megan Winfield 3. Outside of that, there was no scoring by any of the Lander Valley Lady Tigers. In the end, though, Megan Winfield, the Lander leading scorer with 15. Only one close to her was Darian Bell with 6 points. And we'll go through the stats here. Now, Layla Norris, she would have 4 points. Kiera Friday would have 4 points. Adeline Anderson would have 2 points. Disappointing considering how many good shots she had and open looks she had underneath the basket. Brianna Lincoln came in the third quarter and scored her only 2 points of the game. And that will total up to 35 points. On the Mountain View side, well, we told you about McKinley Covelo and how she was their leading scorer. She came into this game averaging 14.7 points per game. She ended up with 21. Hallie Porter ended up with 13 points. Izzy Hickey ended up with 16 points. Addison Hickey ended up with 6. Jada Kinnison, 5 points. Miley Mitchell shot a 3 in the third quarter. Those are her only points. Charlie Porter, not Charlie, Charlie Porter would have 2 points. And that would total up to 72 points at the end of the game, just a blowout. And this boys' game is going to be a little bit more competitive, I would think, considering how physical both these teams like to play. Lander also coming off their first loss in 8 games. Well, 7 games technically. They had a 7-game win streak heading into that championship game against Worland. Mountain View just looking to get something started as they're 2-10. And I don't see them really trying that hard right now to get up some shots as Lander is. They're just doing some runarounds. So with the end of that game, we're going to give our Papa Murphy's player of the game to the Lander Valley leading scorer. and that is Megan Winfield, with 15 points. She's going to get that Papa Murphy's gift coupon for a free pizza. As far as Gatorade player of the game, I would imagine it has to be Darian Bell. I know she only had 6 points, but she played a lot of the game. She was really trying to control the offense. She just didn't get a lot of her shots to fall. And the only thing that I can say positive about Lander is that they're finding their footing here. They went up against a very tough team in the paint. They're going to have to see them again later this year, but it's going to be in Lander's home, and they're going to have to find a way to stop the the inside passing to get into their paint and outside of the Lander defense. It was just going around and around. They were spinning the Lady Tigers like twist tops. I mean, there was just nothing that Lander could do inside the paint. That is where a lot of those points came from Mountain View. So Papa Murphy's player of the game going to go to Megan Winfield, and Darian Bell, our Gatorade player of the game. Coming up at halftime, we're going to try and talk to Coach Melinda Cox, talk to her about what went wrong with this game and see if maybe she has some ideas on how they can better themselves before playing in that huge rivalry game on Tuesday in Riverton, which we will be at. We're going to have 2 calls. The Lander call is going to be on this radio station, 93.1 KFCW, and the Riverton call with Kevin Shields going to be on 93.9 KTAK. Both games going to be on WYO Today's YouTube page, as this one is. And we are going to be looking forward here to the boys game, which is going to tip off in about 12 and a half minutes here. So with that, our Click It or Ticket post-game show, we appreciate YDOT. Remember, 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. Let's try and make it 100%, especially with all the snow and the cold wind hitting the side of the highways, making it almost impossible to see the roads. Remember, when there's ice and snow, take it slow, and remember to always click it or ticket. Back in a couple minutes here with our Hampton Inn and Suites pregame show for the boys, where we will go after who and what the Lander Valley Tigers need to do to get this win.
The staff and board at the Fremont County Fair wish to thank everyone who attended the fair this year. Whether you enjoyed Family Day, a night event, entered a craft show, or showed your livestock, thank you for all your efforts. We'll be moving and grooving next year, so stay tuned.
From the wide open spaces to the canyon near you, Wyoming.com is reaching more homes and businesses than ever before. For more than 25 years, we've aimed to provide the best internet and phone service to meet the needs of our customers all across the great state of Wyoming. Now it's getting even better. Wyoming.com, expanding to an area near you. Wyoming.com. We're out there.
Central Wyoming College now offers Bachelor of Applied Science degrees in Early Childhood Education and Organizational Management and Leadership, with an emphasis in outdoor education, tribal leadership, or business and entrepreneurial leadership. CWC offers 3 ways to learn: online, virtual, and in person. Learn, grow, lead, and advance at Central Wyoming College. CWC is leading the way with expanded programs in the Bachelor of Applied Science degrees.
WYO Glass wants to wish all the Lander Valley Tiger teams good luck this year. WYO Glass is locally owned and operated in Lander. They bleed green. Call or stop in today to get a quote on a window or get a quick fix on your window for a rock chip. WYO Glass is Lander.
From one corner of the state to the other, over 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. And to the 18% who don't, we say, let's buckle up for life, Wyoming.
At some point, everyone is a pedestrian.
When you're driving, yield to pedestrians.
Wear light clothing. Walk on a pathway instead of the road.
Look out for pedestrians.
Avoid distractions like your phone.
Look out for pedestrians, they're everywhere. We are the Wyoming Indian Lady Chiefs. We need you in our stand.
And welcome back to our Click It or Ticket postgame show. We were going to do the pregame show, but I am joined here by our Papa Murphy's player of the game, Megan Winfield. Megan, I know it was in a loss, but you had a three-pointer in every single quarter. What was going right for you tonight?
Oh, I don't know. Melinda said to get out on the court and start warming up when we first got here before the JV game, and I just kind of warmed up, shooting my shooting form, muscle memory and everything, and then I went out to the three-point line and I tried to shoot 10 3-points in a row from every spot. So.
Well, you were hitting them really well from the left side of the key. Is that your favorite spot to shoot a three from?
Yeah, it definitely is. I like the corner.
That used to be mine when I played as well. Now, obviously, they out-rebounded you by quite a bit. They're a lot taller. That was probably something that Coach Cox was really honing in on. Did it just not go your way, or was it a lot tougher than you thought, or what?
It was definitely tougher than we thought. 23, she's definitely a good post, like one of the best posts we've played.
Cavolo, yeah. Cavolo, yeah.
Yeah, she told us to play behind the post and sandwich, and when we did sandwich, it seemed like she was already getting the shot up, so we just needed to work faster, but...
Well, hey, it was David versus Goliath, really. I mean, they were 13-0. I know you guys were trying to pull the upset. You will see them again later this season. What did they teach you today that you might be thinking about next time you're heading into a game with them?
That we definitely need to be more scrappy, more ball movement, all those things, all the little things.
Well, hey, Megan Winfield, enjoy your Papa Murphy's coupon. If you want, you could tell Darian Bell to come up here and pick her favorite color of Gatorade, as we have 4 here.
Okay, perfect.
Megan Winfield, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And with 7 minutes left, I'm going to talk to Coach Cox here. I don't know if we can get the camera working. Hey, Coach Cox, I know it didn't go your way. You had some great shooting outside. I was just talking to your best three-point shooter there. What went right for you today? I know it was kind of a blow-up, but what went right for you?
I think overall we're going to make a lot of mistakes. People are going to have to be a little bit patient with us. We're playing a lot of kids that haven't had a lot of varsity minutes, and they've got to get used to the speed of the game. Mountain View is a heck of a basketball team. They've been a good basketball team for a lot of years. She does a great job with them. And, we didn't respond very well as far as we kind of got outworked. They transitioned much better than we did, and we didn't get back. And that's, those are things that we have control over and things that we can fix. And that's good news.
And I was just asking Megan, when you guys see each other again later in Lander, what's some things that this game taught you that you're going to be bringing to the table next time?
Well, we got to be better offensively. First and foremost, we got to stop people defensively. We made a couple of adjustments today, and we did really well at different times. There were some spurts where we did a good job and got some turnovers, and were able to push the basketball. But they were very small pieces of the game, and we need to extend that and get better defensively. We just, you can't let a team score that many points, especially at home, and expect to have good things happen.
Yeah, and they were getting a lot of points in the paint. They were giving little give and goes and passing behind your players. That's something that I'm sure you're going to work on over the next couple weeks before you play them. But was that something that you kind of identified before this game that you tried to stop and it just didn't go your way, or did they surprise you?
Yeah, no, they didn't surprise us, absolutely. We had a game plan going in, and we knew, we knew who their shooters were, and we like to pack the paint a little bit. We didn't do a very good job of getting in help side. And so we had, some kids dribbling and getting by us because we didn't have any help. And, that's being disciplined. We've got to be better about being disciplined and work just a little bit harder, or these games are going to be more painful than we would like them to be.
Let's move on from this game. Tuesday, your big rivalry game in Riverton. What can you tell us about that? It's the biggest rivalry in the Fremont County, probably one of the biggest rivalries in the state. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, Travis does a good job with his squad, and we've played them a lot. We need to be ready for them. Anytime we're playing a rivalry game, it's anybody's game. And so we'll have a good game plan going in. Our kids are hungry for a win, and, I think they understand what tonight was and where they were short, and I think they'll respond well on Tuesday.
Well, congratulations on the season so far. I know it didn't go your way tonight, and good luck on Tuesday, and get home safe, Coach.
Thank you. You too.
From the field to the court to the pool and beyond, Fremont County athletes give their blood, sweat, and tears for their teammates and community. Why compromise that with alcohol or marijuana? Help your athlete make the most of their playing time by avoiding the dangers and impact that substance use can have on their performance and future. For more resources and information, visit FremontCountyPrevention.com.
All right, well, we're going to move quickly into our pregame show as we only have a couple minutes before tip-off. I want to thank Coach Melinda Cox and Megan Winfield for coming down here and talking to me as I'm kind of rocking solo dolo today. Coach Cox said a couple good things. They came in prepared, but there's just not a lot you can do when their entire team is just bigger than you and they're working you under the basket. And hopefully that doesn't happen in the boys' game. But as we move from the Click It or Ticket post-game show back into the Hampton Inn & Suites pregame show, I will let you know just a couple of different stats that'll actually really show just how good this Lander boys team has been so far this season. Lander Valley coming into this game 7-3, Mountain View coming in 2-10. Mountain View has a couple good scorers on their team, but they are 11th in scoring in the 3A with 46.9 points per game. That's almost 47. Lander Valley has almost 10, actually they do have 10 more points per game average as they sit at 6 with 57.2. And they're doing that on the second best shooting percentage in the entire 3A, just behind Wheatland by 1%. Lander coming in shooting 44% from the field, and their three-point shooting percentage just under 30%. And a lot of those have come from Bartoni and Brennan Stauffenberg. Again, they are missing one of their best three-point shooters and one of their favorite players, Kyson McClung, who Abe Lopez described as the energy to this team. So everyone trying to do their best to bring the energy back to this Lander team without McClung. And McClung coming in here, he was averaging 10.8 points per game. That would have been second best on this team behind Brennan Stauffenberg at 14.6 and Abe Lopez at 13.1. So they're trying to find points where they can get them. Parker Sixby's doing a great job. Caleb Bartoni really had a showing out party in Powell last weekend, doing a great job on defense and offense. And as far as their shooting goes, that's what you can say about Lander defense or Lander offense, but their defense is doing tremendously as well. They're able to hold players to just under 52 points per game. Mountain View, on the other hand, very near the bottom, allowing 58.7 points per game. Now, the only difference is, just like the girls, Mountain View is out-rebounding most teams with 30 rebounds per game. Lander Valley is just right behind them with 27. That'll be something to watch today. And as far as keys to the game go, there's got to be one thing that Lander has to do today that they didn't get done against Warland, and that is the pace of play. They have to play their game. They cannot play Mountain View's like they tried to play Warland's, and they're going to have to try and stop Dane Branson of Mountain View, who's averaging 13.2 points per game. No one else on Mountain View's team is averaging more than 10. Actually, no one is averaging more than 9 on their team, so that is going to be their guy that they like to go to. And one of the biggest things about Mountain View is those rebounds. Like I said, they have 2 of the top 5 games in all of 3A as far as offensive rebounds go. They got 20 against Big Piney right at the beginning of December, and last week against Buffalo they had 19. So that's good for 2 of the top 5 best rebounding games on offense. And it looks like we are just under 46 seconds to go. I want to get into our Sutherland starting lineup before they announce them here. For Lander, we're going to have a starting lineup of Parker Sixby, Braden Lincoln, Bennett Washburn under the basket, Brennan Stauffenberg, the Tigers' leading scorer, and Abe Lopez, the second leading scorer for the Tigers. As far as Mountain View goes, we're going to have number 2, Colt Henry, averaging 7.2 points per game. Hank Allred, averaging 4 points a game. Dane Branson, like I said, averaging 13.2. Spencer Erickson, averaging 2.8. And Braden Walker, averaging 8.9. That will be the starting lineups there. Thanks to Sutherland's for sponsoring our starting lineup. Remember to go to all of them. Remember to go to Sutherland's for all of your home improvement needs. And there's Kyson McClung. He is out of his brace and after surgery is now in a cast. We all wish Kyson could play. Everybody loves Kyson on this team. He's become a huge, huge player. And before he got hurt, like we said, he was bringing all the energy to practice and the games. See if Lander can try and bring that energy back. Remember, they were on a 7-game win streak before losing to Warland in that championship game. And we're going to have a very loud starting lineup announcement here for Mountain View. in the tunnel of cheerleaders. Like I said, a good crowd here, both on both sides here. Mountain View has at least 100 over there, and I would imagine Lander Valley has about 75 behind me. We got the lineups here, and as always, they toss the shirts into the crowd whenever they're announced. Hank Allred coming in only averaging 4, but he has played some excellent defense all season. Getting loud here. We're going to have a couple Bradens on the court today. Braden Lincoln, Braden Walker. I promise not to get them mixed up. One's playing on one team, one's playing on the other. That was our Sutherland starting lineup. Remember to go to them for all of your home improvement needs. And thank you to Hampton Inn for sponsoring our pregame show. Couldn't do it without you, and I lived there for 2 months, so I couldn't have moved here without you. Thank you, Hampton. And we're going to have Brennan Stauffenberg tipped off against Dane Branson. Waiting on the ref here, get everyone ready. And it's going to go to Lander. Lopez coming up to the top of the key. He's going to pass it to Lincoln. Over to the left side to Sixby. Sixby likes to shoot the 3. Braden Lincoln back over to Abe Lopez on the near side, far side. Bennett Washburn trying to get under the paint. Nice pass, a little high. Over to the right side of the key. Brennan Stauffenberg for 3 to start off the game. That is what he likes to do, and he's doing it well so far this season. Now we got Colt Henry passing it in, and now they're getting all the way down underneath the paint is going to be Dane Hansen, and that's going to be Dane Branson, I'm sorry. That's going to be an easy 2 under the basket. Abe Lopez really going fast here, trying to get that pace of play back to where Lander likes to play it. Top of the key to Brennan, back over to Abe Lopez, thought about shooting it. Back to Parker Sixby on the right side of the key, back over to Lopez to the top of the left. Inside, nice pass to Bennett, but blocked by Branson and rebounded there by Mountain View. Now Hank Allred passing it into the top of the key to Spencer Erickson. Back over to Branson. Now he's inside the key, but he's on the left side, near side. Trying to get over on the baseline. He's going to be swarmed by Lander players, and now Lincoln and Sixby double teaming on the key. Inside to Branson, the turnaround 2 off the iron, and Brennan Stauffenberg's going to rebound it and go coast to coast. And right off of the backboard. No good, and it looks like there was a foul. And it's going to be a shooting foul on number 3, Hank Allred. First foul of the game. Stauffenberg told us how much he has been struggling with free throws all season. Did a great job against Powell, though, to win the game, to get into the championship, and he misses his first one. See what he does here on the second one. 2-3, very early. Stauffenberg with the only points for Lander, and now he's got his 4th point. 4-2, 6:42 to go in the first quarter on our Wild Today scoreboard. Trying to get past the timeline is Mountain View, over to Colt Henry. Henry's going to try and run around to the top of the key. Gets a little stuck there. Over to Hank Allred, who's going to pass it over to Spencer Erickson. Back to the top of the key to Braden Walker. Now to the left side of the key, back inside the paint to Branson. They really like to go to him. Nice move trying to get around. Brennan Stauffenberg misses the shot, but rebounded. Passed back out to the top of the key, to the right side of the key. Missed by Mountain View. And Bennett Washburn was not the last to touch it, and he was also fouled by number 10, Dane Branson. So it will be Lander ball. And Brennan Stauffenberg is going to inbound it here. No full court pressure. They're going to have an easy trip to the half-court line. Abe Lopez crosses that timeline, goes up to the top of the key against Allred, and now he passes it out to Stauffenberg for the long 3. Oh, right off the outside of the iron. Rebounded by Hank Allred of Mountain View, and he's going to run up to the top of the court and run right into Braden Lincoln. Has to pass it over to Braden Walker, and now we go back to Colt Henry on the left side of the key. Long cross-court pass over to Hank Allred on the right side of the key. Another high pass back over to Colt Henry. He almost shoots it, tries to dribble it out, runs into a wall, and now he's going over to the right side of the key. That's Allred for 3 off the outside of the iron and rebounded by Abe Lopez. Lopez going to run up the court. Nice outlet pass there to Bennett Washburn into Braden Lincoln, who tries to put up a shot, and it's good. Braden Lincoln finding the basket early. He typically doesn't find it until a little bit later in the game. They bring him in for a lot of good defense. He is very strong, just like that. A little bit hard on the foul there, on the push. That's going to be his first foul. Lincoln already sweating profusely. You could tell how hard he's working, at least on defense, too. Inbound pass to Hank Allred, trying to get it across the timeline, which he does, over to Colt Henry. Henry inside to Branson. Branson back out to the top of the key. Allred thought about taking it. Back inside to Branson. He's got no one in front of him, and he misses the easy layup. Rebound by Stauffenberg. Looked like he got an elbow to the face, and he still got it. Washburn passes it back to Stauffenberg. They cross the timeline. Over to Abe Lopez on the top right of the key. Lincoln looking for the ball on the right side. He gets it. He's going to put up the three, and it's going to be short. It's going to hit the backboard, and it's going to be rebounded by Branson of Mountain View. Now, Colt Henry running across the timeline. Passes it to the right side of the key, inside to Branson. Now back inside to Braden Walker, who drops the ball, picks it back up, and a nice little move by Hank Allred to get inside, pushes Stauffenberg off, misses the ball, but rebounded. Now they're doing a little passing around the key. Colt Henry back up the baseline. He's going to look back out. He's going to find Spencer Erickson, who's going to give it right back to Colt on the baseline. Little floater missed, but rebounded again by Mountain View, showing why they're one of the better rebounding teams in 3A. And nice steal by Lopez almost. And it's going to end up being a reaching foul, I believe. Yep, reaching foul on Abe Lopez. That's his first. Well, when you're getting out-rebounded and they have 3 straight offensive rebounds, you got to do something to try and get the ball back. But that was not the something they wanted. Now coming in is Will Anderson. Coming in for Spencer Erickson for Mountain View. Lander keeps their same team on the floor. Passing it to the left side of the key. Now towards the top of the key is Anderson. Back inside the paint at the free throw line is Branson. Trying to get around, get a little push. And that's going to be a 3-second violation on Branson, I believe. That'll turn the ball over to Lander, and look at who's in. Bartoni, one of the biggest standouts from last weekend's tournament. He's going to give it to Abe Lopez, who's coming across the timeline to the top of the key, over to Lincoln, over to Stauffenberg on the right side of the key, way long court, cross-court pass to Sixby, who gives it to Abe Lopez inside, misses the shot off the front of the iron, and rebound Mountain View. They're going to go all the way, fast break points. They're going to go under the basket, pass it back out to the key, and missed 3 by Will Anderson, rebound by Lopez. Lopez going court to court, tries to pass it to Bartoni a little bit too high, recovered by Lincoln, and now Lopez is going to go to the baseline, tries to spin, drops the ball out of bounds on on black, which is going to be Lander, meaning it's Mountain View ball, turnover Lander. 6-2, 3:17 to play in the first quarter on our Wild Today scoreboard. Not a lot of scoring, but a lot of physicality as Talon Whelan will come in for Parker Sixby. Lander awaiting the inbound pass. It'll come in to Hank Allred. Full court pressure now forces him to push it into Cash Henry. And another quick foul by Braden Lincoln. That is his second, and they have all come on the Mountain View side of the court. And he's going to be replaced here by Monroe Black, and I have gotten enough flack for mispronouncing his name, so I wrote it down here. I want to make sure I get it. Jainito Monroe Black, number 11, coming in. His brother, Niehi Black, for CWC, doing a great job on the boys' team. And now Mountain View really pushing the envelope here. Stolen by Bartoni on the cross-court pass. And Stauffenberg's going to take it up court. He's going to find Bartoni, and he's going to find Lopez on the left side of the key. He's going to give it way back out to Talon Whelan, give it right back to Abe Lopez, almost steps out of bounds. Tries to dribble it inside, go inside, and now Stauffenberg fakes the 3, runs inside, almost drops the ball, loses it, and steal by Hank Allred, another turnover by Lander. Allred between his legs to the right side of the key to Cash Henry. High pass back to the top of the key to Hank Allred, almost stolen there by Lopez. You can hear Mountain View's coach screaming, and wow, what an alley-oop there to Dane Branson. Lays it up while he's in midair. What a nice pass. Now it's Lander's turn to try and do something themselves. Kind of an off pass there to Jainito Monroe Black. Abe Lopez, top of the key, over to Talon Whelan. Whelan looking for an inside pass. He finds it. Nice little quick pass to Bartoni. Could have been a foul, but they're going to call it a clean block underneath the paint. And Mountain View trying to bring it up to the top of the key. They get it to Will Anderson. He's going to pass it back to the top of the key, over to the left side, near side, inside to Dane Branson, who finds an open Braden Walker, who was blocked from behind by Bartoni, doing so well. And Brennan Stauffenberg got hit in the face, but landed his full body weight on Cash Henry. And they're going to call that a foul on Cash Henry of Mountain View. Stauffenberg definitely got hit in the face first, and Cash is limping off. He's grabbing at his groin, kind of limping just a little bit. He might have just gotten landed on in the wrong spot. I think every boy knows how that feels. Inbound pass now to Abe Lopez, 6'4", under a minute and a half to go. Abe Lopez finds Talon Whelan. He's going to just pull up the three, and it is no good off the top of the iron. And Bartoni recovers but loses the ball. Steal by Mountain View. And they're going to go left side. And they're going to give it to the top of the key here to Will Anderson, who finds the right side. Key shot way short by Colt Henry. Rebounded by Brendan Stauffenberg, and Talon Wheeling going to come down court. 1-on-3, and they're going to call it a push on Mountain View's number 12. Braden Walker, that is his first. So far we've got Brendan Stauffenberg with 4 points, Braden Lincoln with 2, and Dane Branson has all 4 points for Mountain View. Very low-scoring affair. I don't know if this is what we were expecting, especially by Lander. Bennett Washburn going to inbound the pass. He finds an open Monroe Black for 3 on the left side of the key, and that is going to be his first points of the game, obviously, as I just mentioned, who has scored. And nice steal by Bartoni on the inside, and he's going to run and do it himself. Nice little left-handed look there underneath the basket, and that is 2 points for Bartoni, proving why he belongs on the varsity squad. And now Mountain View taking it a little bit slow. They're getting double-teamed, and they're going to throw it away, and he's going to run into the scorer's table. And it's going to be inside the ball here, but Bennett Washburn gets the inside there. Sorry, I'm talking over myself. It's happening so fast. Bennett Washburn gets the two-pointer as he was 3-on-1 after Colt Henry saved the ball from going out of bounds, but threw it right into a Lander player. And now they're trying to play it a little bit softer here. Top of the key, over to the right side to Henry. Henry puts up a 3 off the top in front of the iron. Bennett Washburn with the rebound. He's going to give it to Talon Whelan, who's going to bring it up court. Whelan looking, and he finds Brendan Stauffenberg, top of the key. He's just going to put up a 3 at the end of the shot, at the end of the quarter, and it is no good. 13-4 at the end of 1, and the second quarter will be right. We'll be right back with the second quarter after this.
At Teton Therapy, our people make the difference. You can live pain-free. The amazing staff at Teton Therapy can help in Lander and Riverton.
When repairs are complete after a collision, you expect your car, SUV, or truck to look like new. That's the service you'll receive at Stork Auto Body in Riverton. Professionalism and meticulous attention to detail. You can depend on Stork Auto Body, 841 Miniweb Avenue, Riverton.
If your vehicle needs repair, you can depend on the crew at Extra Care Auto Repair. They can repair almost anything with wheels, gas, diesel, domestic, or import, and their work is top quality and reliable. Extra Care Auto Repair on North Federal in Riverton.
And we are back with the second quarter. Lander up 13-4 on our WYO Today scoreboard, and you are listening on 93.1 KFCW, or maybe you're watching on WYO Today's live stream. Remember, we stream every Lander game and every Riverton game and every Thermopolis game and every Wyoming Indian game. So WYO Today YouTube page is where you can find all those. And now Mountain View really trying to push the envelope but just a little bit here. Dane Branson passes it back out to the top of the key to Casey Walker. Walker finds Colt Henry on the left side of the key, and now back out to the top to Braden Walker, who's back in the game. Big boy in the paint. Colt Henry gets the ball right back. He's going to pass it around. Spencer Erickson back to Colt Henry. Back to Casey Walker. Walker trying to find the inside pass. Nice little give and go there to Dane Branson for a little 10-foot shot. Branson, the only scorer for Mountain View. 6-13 Lander. Brennan passes it over to Monroe Black. Brennan to the top of the key, back to Monroe Black, and now they're going to go inside. Nice little give-and-go pass. Oh, Bartoni misses the layup, but rebounded by Brennan Stauffenberg at the top of the key. He's going to take the three right off the front of the iron. And now, rebound by Talon Whelan, but stolen by Mountain View. Colt Henry, speedy guy, trying to find his way around the defense. Can't. Passes it over to Casey Walker, who's going to try and get inside. Passes it right back out to Colt. Passes it back to Spencer Erickson on the right. They're just doing a little bit of passing around the key to see who they can get open. Right now, Casey Walker with the ball. Back out to Colt Henry. Back to Casey Walker. He wants to shoot a three. You can see it in his eyes. And Colt Henry going to pretend, pump fake. He's going to find Casey on the left side of the key. And stolen by Talon Whelan. Whelan with his first steal of the game. Second steal, I should add. And he's going to go inside the paint, pass it right back out to Bartoni at the top of the key. Whelan on the right side of the key and going to make a dangerous pass. Barely makes it to Brennan Stauffenberg. And now back to Whelan on the right side. He's going to try and pass it back out to Brennan Stauffenberg. He does, top of the key, over to Monroe Black. A long cross-court pass back out to Whelan. He finds Washburn open, but he gets swarmed immediately. Whelan on the right side of the key, back into Washburn. Washburn needs to find somewhere to go with the ball, and he does. He finds Brennan Stauffenberg, who passes it mid-air out to Monroe Black, back out to Stauffenberg, top of the key. Wow, what a pass. No-look pass to Bennett Washburn, who misses the easy layup. That was an issue he had all weekend last weekend. Washburn with the easy opportunity and just banks it a little too hard off the glass. Mountain View going to call a timeout as Coach Dustin Reese is upset. Be right back, 13-6.
A well-drawn-up game plan can be the difference between wins and losses. The same can be said about your mental health. Making a game plan to talk to your children can make a huge impact on them and help make them feel supported and listened to. The good news is, this winning game plan isn't hard to implement. All it takes is you starting the conversation and being ready to talk. If you need helpful resources and tools, you can visit FremontCountyPrevention.com.
Welcome back. 5:36 to go in the second quarter. 13-6, very low-scoring affair here. Lander missing a couple easy opportunities. Mountain View just not getting the opportunities. They're stuck at three-point range unless Dane Branson, who has all 6 points for Mountain View, can find a way to get into the paint. They have just not been able to get the ball in the bottom of the basket. Bad pass there, and Bartoni's going to steal it. 2-on-1, nice pass into Lopez, and he's fouled on his layup. And that's going to be a foul on, it looked like number 3. Let's see what the call is, make sure. Oh, number 5. That's going to be Casey Walker's first. And Abe Lopez going to go to the free throw line. Lopez's first shot, good. Trying to find some stats here on Lopez's free throw shooting. Lopez shooting 60% from the line all year. One of the better Lander Tigers at the line. And here's his second shot. Oh, rolls right in and out, but it's rebounded by Monroe Black, and it's pushed out. Last touched by, they're not getting anyone, last touched by Mountain View. So Abe Lopez is going to inbound the pass, and they're going to possibly get 3 to 4 points from this one possession, thanks to that rebound by Jainito Monroe Black. Lopez looking for the pass inbounds. He finds 6B, goes to the top of the key. Little pick and roll, doesn't work, almost loses the ball, passes it out to Monroe Black, who gives the ball out to Lopez. He's going to run inside the paint, and dangerous pass to Bartoni on the left side of the key. And his three-point shot, Bartoni's, is no good, rebounded by Mountain View. Mountain View coming up the court. Dash Madsen, first time we've called his game. Lopez with the nice steal behind the back to himself, and he's going to go all the way for 2 off the backboard. Nice steal and move there by Abe Lopez to get into the paint. Little fancy footwork. And they're going to find a way to get Dale Branson inside, and he misses the easy layup himself off the baseline. And Bennett Washburn got a shoot to the back of the head in the middle of this scrum at the free throw line. And it's going to be a jump ball, which means possession arrow, which means Lander ball. Turnover, essentially, by Mountain View. Dane Branson has not missed an easy shot like that so far tonight. 16-6, 4:35 to go on our Wild Today scoreboard. 6B going to get the ball. He's going to pass it inside the paint to Bennett Washburn. who gets it a little bit blocked, and Sixby gets the ball back, gets it to Lopez at the top of the key, gives it out to Monroe Black, who passes it to Bartoni. Inside, quick look to Bennett Washburn for 2. He doesn't miss that time. And it is 18-6, and this defense for Lander is stifling right now. They get it inside to Dane Brunson, who pushes on Brennan Stauffenberg at the baseline, and that looks like it's going to be a foul. Oh, that was on Bartoni, actually. Bartoni and Brennan Stauffenberg have identical haircuts, just different colors, so my bad. Brennan Stauffenberg actually isn't even on the court right now. He's taking a breather. Inbound pass going to come in by Spencer Erickson. And he looks and he passes it to Dane Brunson. Who else? He's swarmed by 3 Lander Tigers, runs the baseline, little behind the backboard layup, and that is good for Brunson. He has all 8 points for the Buffaloes right now. Abe Lopez stops with his dribble, passes it to Bartoni, dangerous pass, and it's going to be dropped and stolen by Mountain View. And they're going to take it a little bit slower now as Lander is not doing full court pressure anymore. Around the key they go, and a long cross-court pass to Colt Henry for 3, air ball, but it's going to be easily rebounded by Spencer Erickson for 2. Easy miss there, or easy grab there off the miss. Lopez going to dribble between his legs, coming up to the top of the key. Over to Monroe Black, now inside to Bennett Washburn, outside to Parker Sixby. He's going to take the shot, and off the outside of the iron. Long passing. Colt Henry is going to go in for the easy 2. Little cherry picking. 18-12 now. Lander needs to get it together, and a Euro step by Abe Lopez ends in a player control foul, and that'll be Abe Lopez's second foul, and it is Mountain View ball, down 6 with 3:09 to go in the second quarter. Lopez typically so good with those Euro steps to get around the defense, and Stu Mullins needs to stop the bleeding. He's going to call a timeout. We'll take it with him. 18-12, 3:09 to go in this game, or in the second quarter.
It's more than clocking in or collecting a paycheck. We are a network of caring professionals who want to be here, dedicated to serving our communities. We are Sage West Healthcare, our 2 campus hospitals in Riverton and Lander. We take pride in our region, our people, and our communities. Located in beautiful central Wyoming, filled with natural recreation in our own backyard. We are neighbors caring for neighbors, a community caring for its own. We are Sage West. We are recruiting the best, like you.
Back here on 93.1 KFCW, your home for Lander Tigers and Lady Tigers basketball, as well as everything Lander when football comes back around. This is the radio station to find them on. Inside inbound pass by Mountain View, down 6 with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. They need to get it across the timeline. They don't have much time. They get it there. Braden Walker passes it outside. Partially blocked, looked like on the 3 by Spencer Erickson. Rebound, and Abe Lopez all alone under the basket. Oh, no good. A little bit too hard off the backboard. But they're going to call a shooting foul, it looks like, on number 11. That is Spencer Erickson again. That is his first foul. So now 5 different Mountain View players with 1 foul. Abe Lopez back on the line, and he makes his first one. Lopez now with 4 points. Stauffenberg with 4 points. Bennett Washburn with 4 points. Bartoni and Braden Lincoln each with 2. Lopez's second shot from the charity strip is good. Nothing but net. A couple substitutions coming in now. Bennett Washburn coming in for Bartoni. And they're back to full court pressure. They inbound the pass. Long pass now to Dane Brunson on the outside of the key, and they're going to swarm him. 2 players, and they're going to call a travel on Branson. Turnover, Mountain View. That is that defense that Lander has been perfecting all season long. Able to just swarm the ball handler. And now Lopez coming down court. He's going to pass it over to Monroe Black, and now Mountain View's trying to do the same thing here, a little zone defense. Lopez top of the key, down to Stauffenberg. Nice bounce pass inside the paint to Washburn, and that'll be another point off the backboard for Washburn. Great pass, open look, right in between 2 Mountain View players, and Mountain View now trying to get a little bit of pace going themselves. Passing cross-court pass over to Colt Henry from the top of the right side of the key, off the back of the backboard, no good. Rebound Lander, but they're going to call a foul on Brennan Stauffenberg. That'll be his first. Of course, his father, Cyril Stauffenberg, the athletic director for Lander. His sister, Demi Stauffenberg, a 1,000-point scorer for the Lady Tigers before she graduated last year. And Coach Cyril Stauffenberg, I should say, as he is no longer the coach, but he was for quite some time, both here at Lander and at CWC. Now Mountain View gets the ball back in. Branson inside the paint, trying to get physical in there. Colt Henry going to fake it and go in for a little floater, misses it off the backboard, and Branson puts it back in with the offensive rebound. 22-14, under 2 minutes to go here. Lander leading on our YO Today scoreboard. Stauffenberg trying to call a play into action here. He calls Sixby over to the top of the key. Lopez gives it to Sixby. Back to Lopez. He's going to try and find his way in. Stauffenberg almost loses the ball. They're going to call a hand foul on number 4, Cash Henry. That is his second. I've always liked the name Cash. That's a cool name. Stauffenberg going to go to the charity strip here for the second time tonight. He's 1 for 2 so far. He has not scored in the second quarter. First shot from the free throw line is nothing but net. A pure stroke there. Nice use of the legs. He's going to try and do it again. Second shot up and off the front and rolls out. So 1 for 2. Now he's 2 for 4 on the night. And Mountain View's going to get it over the timeline. Hank Allred over to Colt Henry. Back to Matson. And almost a steal by Parker Sixby. Knocked out of bounds, though. I just noticed that Mountain View has a dash and a cash. Sorry if I mix those up. Very close to each other in numbers, too. Number 3, Hank Allred, going to inbound the pass here to Dane Branson. Gives it right back to Allred on the outside. He's going to do a long cross-court pass to Dash. Over to Colt Henry, who's on the top of the key, passes it inside. Now Dane Branson has it. Another easy look inside the paint. They cannot do anything about Dane Branson when he gets underneath the basket. Abe Lopez going to drive inside, and he's going to put up a little floater, hits the backboard, gets his own rebound in midair, shoots it, and gets the putback. 2 points more for Abe Lopez. Mountain View trying to cross the half-court line. They do. Hank Allred gives it back to Colt Henry. Henry going to try and find someone. He finds Braden Walker on the outside of the key. Big boy. Doesn't look like he belongs out there. Looks like he belongs inside the paint where he's going. And that's where he's going to go. And now he passes it, and it's stolen by Washburn. Or is it? Looks like we could have a jump ball, which means possession arrow. And that means Mountain View ball still. Mountain View coach Dustin Reese calling out the play call. Utah, 34.6 seconds left to go. Out to Dane Branson at the top of the key, and they're going to give it to Hank Allred. Now back to Colt Henry. Back to Hank Allred, who's going to dribble around to the top of the key, try and find someone open. He finds Dash Madsen, who finds Braden Walker outside for 3. No good. Rebound, Bennett Washburn. Stauffenberg finds the pass open to Abe Lopez, who's going to try and go in. He finds Stauffenberg back out on the top of the key. Abe Lopez was open there for a second. He's going to go behind the backboard and almost makes it with a little athleticism. It's just off the top of the iron, and he's going to put up a long 3 is Dane Branson at the end of the quarter. And at the end of 2, we have Lander up 25-16. We will be right back with some stats and our CWC halftime show here on 93.1 KFCW, and we're streaming on Wild Today's YouTube page.
Natural Health Solutions offers treatments for a variety of conditions, along with nutritional counseling, chiropractic, acupuncture, and more. Treatment plans designed individually to optimize your health. Call for an appointment, 856-8181 today.
Why should you choose Lander Medical Clinic or Western Family Care for your health care? In addition to 4 locations in Fremont County, they also provide telehealth. Telehealth can be your go-to answer when you're out of town, on the road, or just can't get to urgent care. All you need is a good internet connection. To schedule a telehealth appointment, call 332-2941 today. That's 332-2941. Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care. With telehealth, they're putting your health first every time. You need an oil change, but you don't have a lot of time. Expressway Lubes on South Federal in Riverton and Highway 789 in Lander provide a fast, professional lube, oil, and filter change. Expressway Lubes, locally owned and proud to support our local student athletes.
A proud sponsor of this broadcast is Bailey Enterprises. For over 50 years, Bailey has become the name you can trust. With Pit Stop Travel Centers, you can fuel up and stock up on trip snacks at locations all over Fremont County. You can also put your trust in Bailey Tire and Auto for service to keep handy for those times when your luck runs out on the road. Refresh at the Speedway Cafe with a dine-in meal or a round of carry-out with a variety of specials to keep you going. Go with Bailey.
Your car or truck is an investment. When it needs repairs, you need someone you can trust to do the job right. Take it to Gunners Automotive. They repair all makes and models of cars and trucks, from oil changes to brakes, tires, and more. Gunners Automotive, 856-2288.
Wyoming Community Bank is ready to serve you. Stop in at any one of their branches located in Riverton, Lander, and DuBois. A bank that is owned and operated by the locals of Fremont County. Wyoming Community Bank. They're here to help you.
Bunch of middle school stuff.
Yeah. Hey, and we are back with our CWC halftime show, and I am joined by special guest here. I won't put the camera on you, Mr. Stauffenberg here. Cyril Stauffenberg, former Lady Tigers coach and proud father of Brennan Stauffenberg, I'm sure, as well as Demi. Real quick, let's go back to the girls' game. It's been 10 games since you left. What have you seen as far as growth in that girls' team since you left and Coach Cox has taken over?
You know, I think they're on the right track. You know, we moved quads, so we went from probably no disrespect to them, but from a pretty easy quad to very, very difficult. I think if you look at the quad for those girls, Pinedale, Mountain View, and Lyman, between the three of them, I think they might have 4 total losses. So
yeah.
I mean, it's not an easy place to be, and you know, obviously down a point guard from last year doesn't help them, but I think they're certainly headed in the right direction.
Yeah, you were close. They only have 2 combined losses. Yeah, it's a very tough quadrant you're in, and I'm sure they'll start to get it together. Coach Cox is very confident that they'll start to mesh a little bit more. As far as the boys' games go, you only had that loss by Warland. Other than that, you had a 7-game win streak, and Brennan Stauffenberg, your son, has really been a pivotal player. He's not only their lead scorer, but he plays really good defense. Did he get that ability from you?
Yeah, not his shooting ability, that's for sure. He actually makes them, so I could play defense. That's about it. So, and you know, key for him is he's had been in foul trouble probably most of the season, so that helps. Well, it helps anybody, but obviously helps a big kid too.
He definitely hasn't. So heading into this second half, you've been watching just as much as I have. What does Lander have to do to keep this lead as good as it is and get the victory to come out of here with a win?
You know, I think if they could have got a few more bunnies early, geez, they had some nice looks and they didn't go in. And of course, then a 10-point lead evaporated about 4. It's back to 9. I think they got to keep pressure on it, you know, as much as they can out of their 2-3. But I mean, Lander's just not the type of team that wants to sit around and make the score 49-35. I mean, they want to get out and run and push the ball. And to do it, they're going to have to step up defensively and pressure them a little bit more.
Yeah, you can tell their pace of play is always a lot faster than the other teams have to kind of keep up with them. Mountain View's doing an okay job under the paint, but as far as their three-point shooting, it's not going well. Let's move. I don't want to look past this game, but since you're not coaching either, I want to ask you, since you told me kind of a little bit at Maverick last time that wearing green at the beginning of your tenure at Lander was a little rough. What does playing at Riverton next weekend feel like for you?
You know, it's one of those, when you came over as an athletic director, you really don't have much of a choice but to jump all in, and it was easy to do, but it was even easier then, of course, when you have your kids jumping in. Well, at that time it was blue and gold for the middle school, but now we're green and black down there too. So, you know, it's always fun to go back there. We obviously still have a ton of friends. Obviously, the kids played with a lot of those kids. You know, Brennan played with a lot of those kids.
A lot of them
with travel teams. I coached probably, you know, between the two teams, probably coached half the starting lineup, you know, between Brennan and then 4 kids out of Riverton. So, you know, it's always fun to go back, and it's like I said, it's a non-conference game, so that helps. It makes you know, you're not as nervous, but it's still exciting to go back there.
It's always interesting whenever Riverton and Lander get together, whether it's soccer, football, basketball. That'll be on Tuesday night, and we'll be in Riverton with the 2 different calls. I want to thank Cyril for coming down. Enjoy the rest of your second half, and good luck to Brennan. Good luck getting home, and tell Demi and your wife we said hello.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah. Have a good one, Coach. And we'll be right back with some stats with 4 minutes to go in our halftime show. It is 25-16 Lander. We'll be right back after this ad.
Community Health Centers of Central Wyoming has locations across Fremont County ready to serve you at Du Bois Medical Clinic, Riverton Community Health, and Lander Community Health Pediatrics. We accept all forms of insurance, including Medicaid and Medicare. Are you struggling to get medical care? Ask for their sliding fee scale. From family medicine to pediatrics, Community Health Centers are here to serve you. Call 307-463-7160 or visit chccw.org to schedule your appointment. High Plains Power is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative. What does that mean for you as a Rural Electric Association member? It all comes down to 7 principles: open membership, one voice, one vote, member benefits, independence, education, cooperation, and community. To understand how it all works, we're headed back in time. In 1879, electricity was in major cities, but rural areas were out of luck. In 1935, President FDR made it possible for companies to build power lines to unserved areas. By the time we hit 1941, some 400 electric co-ops had been organized to serve rural America, just like High Plains Power. For more information, visit highplainspower.org.
Welcome back to our Central Wyoming College halftime show here at Mountain View. I want to give a quick thanks to Cyril Stauffenberg for coming down and joining me. He's not the most public person. He doesn't like to talk as much. And, ever since he stopped coaching the Lady Tigers, I've always wanted to talk to him a little bit more. I moved here in March and didn't get a chance to see him coach the Lady Tigers, but I've heard only good things and great things about his daughter, Demi Stauffenberg, who not only crossed the 1,000-point mark as a Lady Tiger, but she was one of the best rebounders in Lander Valley history. So props to Cyril Stauffenberg for having 2 very talented basketball players. And Brennan, of course, one of the better quarterbacks in Wyoming, as the Lander Tigers made it to the playoffs again, sadly losing in the quarterfinals once again. So some stats before the teams come back out here. The Lander Tigers outscored Mountain View in both, they outscored them in the first quarter 13-4, and they actually tied them in the second quarter 12-12. Leading scorer for the entire game is Dane Branson for Mountain View. He has 12 points, 12 of the 16 Mountain View points, and followed up by 2 points apiece for Colt Henry and Spencer Erickson. Those are your only scorers for Mountain View. Over on Lander's side, you have kind of a good mix-up of players here with some points. Bennett Washburn and Abe Lopez both have 6 points. They're tied for the leading scorers. Brennan Stauffenberg with 5. 2 points apiece for Braden Lincoln and Caleb Bartoni. And Jainito Monroe Black with that lone 3-pointer in the first quarter. He has 3 points. That brings your total up to 25-16. That is our halftime score here. Just want to thank Central Wyoming College. Again, you can look for all of their bachelor degree options online and get your degree online from home. Central Wyoming College, make your way out here. And boy, Central Wyoming College has some good games this weekend as well. Can't wait to watch some of those. The girls and boys back at home tomorrow afternoon before a couple road games. Well, next Wednesday they have a home game as well, but then they have some road games. And the CWC boys with Monroe Black's brother, Nyehi Black, they are on a tear right now. We went to a game, my wife and I, they put up triple-digit points, and they were just laughing at the other team. I believe it was Miles City they were beating up from Montana. So 25 seconds left to go in our halftime here. The girls cheerleading squad did a great performance. Once again, I couldn't see it because they aim it at the other side of the bench, which is where all of the Mountain View fans and student section sits. And behind us, just a flurry of green and black. Lots and lots and lots of Lander fans made this trip today. The roads, you thought they might be a little scary coming out of Fremont County where there was some snow last night, but pretty clear roads. Past some wild horses crossing the road on the way here. And just excited to be here in Mountain View as this third quarter is getting set up to start. Lander will get the ball first with Stauffenberg inbounding what looks like to Abe Lopez here. Same starting lineup at the beginning of this half. You got Lopez, Stauffenberg, 6B, Lincoln, and Bennett Washburn. For Mountain View, you have the same starting lineup. Braden Walker. Oh, no, they actually have someone different in there. They have Colt Henry. They have Dane Branson, Braden Walker, Hank Allred, and Spencer Erickson. So it is the same lineup. Their numbers look very close to each other on the back here. And they're going to pass it around the key. Braden Lincoln passes the ball directly into the feet of Braden Walker. And now Colt Henry coming up fast on the key here, and they pass it inbounds. Nice little pass there to Spencer Erickson. Easy give and go from the baseline. And now Lander has to answer here. They're going to pass it out to Sixby at the top of the key, back to Lopez. Lopez likes to shoot that, but he's going to turn it and give it into Stauffenberg, who's off the front of the iron from a little 6-foot shot. Rebound Mountain View. Colt Henry going to bring it up to the top of the key. He's going to go up against Braden Lincoln, very good defensive player for Lander. They're going to do 2 quick passes inside, now to the right side of the key. Inside again, and now Braden Walker gets his shot blocked, and Stauffenberg is down, and he is hurt. That is not a good sign. He's getting up a little gingerly right now. Kind of lifting up his right ankle. He's going to stay in the game. That's a tough man. I've seen him play quite a few games where his body has been bruised and battered at the end. We even made a joke about it when we were talking to him after the PAL game. He says, I play a physical game every time. He likes to play physical. He likes to get a little dirty, throw some elbows if he has to. And that could be one of the main reasons he's such a good football player as well, is he can take a good hit. Resuming the game now. Abe Lopez going to bring it up the court across the timeline. Pass it over the right side of the key to Lincoln. Lincoln across the court to the 6B, back to Lopez, who's going to fake a shot and throws it right off the feet of a Mountain View player. Bounces directly into the hands of 6B, but that's going to be a kickball. It's not basketball, it's kickball. And now Lopez going to inbound it from underneath the basket. He's going to try and find underneath, and another kickball. I think he was trying to find Bennett Washburn underneath the paint. Underneath the basket, I should say, in the paint. And we're going to redo this? No. We're going to have a timeout, Mountain View. They want to get a better look at what's happening here. 25-18, 6:49 to go in the third quarter. You're listening to Lander Valley Basketball on 93.1 KFCW, and we're streaming on Wild Today YouTube page.
Visit Lander Gambles to make your home feel like new. They will beat any competitor's price. Stop by to speak to one of the sales agents or visit LanderGambles.com. Lander Gambles will help you find the perfect product that fits your budget and lifestyle. Lander Gambles, 420 Main Street, Lander, Wyoming.
Are you a caring person that wants to help but not sure where to go? Wyoming Senior Citizen Inc. is looking for caregivers across the state. Call 307-856-6880 to find out more information. They would like to wish all Fremont County athletes good luck this year.
Papa Murphy's is proud to sponsor this week's Player of the Game. For a limited time, enjoy a Papa Murphy's barbecue chicken pizza made with KC Masterpiece barbecue sauce. After the game or anytime, you can't beat the fresh ingredients and authentic flavor of a Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza. And you know it's baked right every time because you baked it yourself. Papa Murphy's on North Federal in Riverton. Drop in or order online at papamurphys.com. Go Wolverines!
And coming back in the middle of the action, they actually inbound the pass. Braden Lincoln put up a three. It was rebounded by Mountain View, but stolen by Abe Lopez, who goes in. And they're going to give a foul to Hank Allred on the layup attempt by Abe Lopez. Lopez looking to score the first points for Lander here in the third quarter, as we're a minute and 20 seconds in, and he has them with one free throw made. He's now 4 out of 5 from the line. Let's see if he can make it 5 out of 6, and in and out and back in. 2 points from the charity strip for Abe Lopez, and a very dangerous pass, and he tries to throw it back in. The Mountain View player does, and Lincoln steals it and gets the two easily underneath the basket. Nice attempt there by Colt Henry, but just couldn't get it to the right guy. Mountain View really trying to find their way inside the paint, which is where they get all their points so far, and they're going to find Colt Henry open on the right side of the key, gets his own rebound from the three, and puts up a layup. Could have been a foul, but no foul called. Lincoln now scrambling for it, passes it out to 6B. Timeout, Stu Mullins of Lander. That was a good timeout, and Coach Dustin Reese for Mountain View is upset that he did not get a foul call on that layup attempt. Big bodies falling everywhere underneath the basket, but you never know. We're going to stick with this timeout. It's a quick 30-second timeout here. Lander's going to try and find a way to get that inside pressure from Mountain View to quit getting so many good looks underneath the basket. And so far, it's been one of the better games for an all-around type of play by Lander. Typically, by this point, it's Abe Lopez or Brendan Stauffenberg that have really come out and scored the most points. But like I said at the halftime show, they really are spreading the wealth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players with points on the board right now. Only 3 for Mountain View. Abe Lopez going to inbound the pass here at half court. He's going to give it to Brennan Stauffenberg, who's going to take it to the top of the key. They obviously have a play call in mind. He's going to pass it over the right side of the key to Abe Lopez, who's going to give a nice bounce pass into Bennett Washburn, but it was blocked partially inside by a Mountain View player. Bennett falls on it. Looks like it's going to be a jump ball, which means Mountain View ball, which means a turnover by Lander, essentially. Inbound pass to Colt Henry. Colt getting really heavily guarded by Braden Lincoln, trying to find his way across the timeline. Passes it over to Hank Allred, back over to Colt Henry. They are across the timeline. Now he's going to give it over to Will Anderson on the left side of the key, back to Colt Henry, back to Anderson. Little back and forth here. Hank Allred on the right side of the key finds inside Dane Branson, who's getting triple teamed, almost stolen by 6B. Braden Lincoln ends up getting the ball, and now Brendan Stauffenberg is running down. Colt Henry is on the ground in pain on the other side, and bad pass, 6B off of his hands. I don't know if they're going to call an injury timeout before the out-of-bounds turnover. Right now, Colt Henry being looked at by the Mountain View training staff here. He went down when Braden Lincoln grabbed the ball from him. He had tried to get the ball underneath his legs, and when he fell forward, he fell kind of awkwardly onto Braden Lincoln. Braden Lincoln and Bennett Washburn got up, but Colt Henry did not. We're going to take a quick 30-second break and come back after Colt gets up.
Want access to local news, sports, events, and more? Download the WYO Today app. Now available on all platforms. Stream your favorite radio station, submit something to buy, sell, or trade for deals on the dial, or view contests and special coupons. Better yet, the WYO Today app is the best way to access free HD video of Fremont and Hot Springs County athletics. It's all at your fingertips. Head to your app store or visit wyotoday.com to download the WYO Today app now.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
All right, Colt Henry was able to get up, but he was helped off the court. Couldn't really get up on his own accord here. Mountain View replacing Colt with Cash Henry, which is Colt's brother, I would imagine, same last name. Now Mountain View trying to find the inside pass. They got it into Dane Branson, but nice little hand inside by Bennett Washburn knocks it out, and that's a steal for Lander. Brennan Stauffenberg and Abe Lopez going back and forth at the top of the key. Now to 6B on the right side of the key. A little bit onto the top. Braden Lincoln over on the right. Back to 6B on top. Back to Braden. Back to Abe Lopez. Lopez going to dribble it out and find 6B again. They're looking back at each other. Back to Lopez. Lopez going to fake out Cash Henry, and they're going to give it to the left side of the key here to Braden Lincoln. Back to the top to 6B. 6B to Lopez. Lopez trying to drive inside up against 3 Mountain View players. No good on the layup. Gets his own rebound. Tries to go back up and does, and off of the iron. Bennett Washburn almost got the rebound, and now Braden Lincoln with the ball. And now we're going to have a foul on 4, Cash Henry. That's his third. And what a rebounding clinic there by Abe Lopez and the rest of the Lander team. Now it's going to be Stauffenberg, top of the key. Finds Lopez open on the left side of the key, shoots the 3, and it's good! Abe Lopez for 3. He has 5 points in this quarter alone, and we're not even halfway through. Back and forth here from Mountain View, trying to get across the timeline, and they do with a pass to Will Anderson. Will almost loses it, gets it back to Cash Henry. Will on the left side, far side. Cash inside to Braden Walker, and a bad pass tipped by Lander there. It's going to be inside, almost inside 4 minutes now. 4:01 to go, 32-18 Lander. Bartoni's going to come in for Sixby. Sixby has yet to score. Bartoni has 2 points. Inbound pass here by Will Anderson, all the way out to the top of the key, and they find Hank Allred now inside to Dane Branson where he likes to be. Puts up the shot, way overthrown, but fouled by Brennan Stauffenberg. Yep, Brennan Stauffenberg, that's his second. I thought it might have been on Bennett Washburn for a second. Coach Stu Mullins shouting out some orders. Dane Branson at the line. First time any Mountain View player has been at the line. He's got a kind of a funky shot. Dane Branson 0 for 1 to start this. Kind of reminds me of the old Sean Marion shot a little bit. Quick release at the top, and now it's 1 for 2. And Dane Branson has his first points of the third quarter. Lopez picks up his dribble, passes it to Stauffenberg at the top of the key. They're playing a lot of zone defense, Mountain View, and they're trying to get inside of it is Lander. Stauffenberg back over to Abe Lopez. Stauffenberg at top of the key. Thought he might take it. Over to Lincoln on the left side, inside to Washburn. Washburn way far out to Stauffenberg for 3. Oh, off the front of the rim and the backboard. Rebound, Dane Branson for Mountain View. It's going to be Cash Henry coming up. Almost stolen by Stauffenberg. And that left a wide open Will Anderson for 3. Stauffenberg, if he had gotten the steal, would have been nice, but he overshot it, and that meant that Will Anderson was wide open. Stauffenberg now trying to find an open player. Back to Abe Lopez, top of the key. Inside now to Bennett Washburn, 10 feet away from the goal. Back out to Abe Lopez, back inside to Bennett Washburn. Bad pass inside to Bartoni. Cash Henry got in between the bounce pass, knocked it out of bounds. Coach Reese for Mountain View, mad at these officials right now. Abe Lopez going to inbound the ball all the way outside to Lincoln. Lincoln finds Stauffenberg, who's going to control the ball, give it out to Lopez, back to Stauffenberg. Stauffenberg cross-court pass to Braden Lincoln, now to the top of the key to Lopez. Right side to Stauffenberg. Stauffenberg definitely a mismatch right now. He's 2 feet taller than the player he's up against. Inside to Washburn in the paint. Nice little move, and gets through 3 different Buffaloes to get his first points of the third quarter. That was a nice little move. Faked out like he was going to pass and went inside instead. Mountain View trying to get over the half-court line, and does. Now to Will Anderson. He pulls up another 3 off the front iron and rebounded by Bennett Washburn. Stauffenberg going to take the ball up court. Fakes out Cash Henry, and a pass tipped by Mountain View. He was trying to get over to the left side of the inside paint to Washburn, and it's going to be Abe Lopez passing the ball in. Easy pass inside to Stauffenberg. Stauffenberg back over to Lopez immediately, almost shot the 3, drives the baseline, and they're not going to call that a travel. They're going to call that a jump ball. He was in the air with 2 different Mountain View players' hands on the ball. I thought it was just going to be a block. When he came down with the ball, thought it could have been a travel, and it is neither. It is a jump ball, possession arrow Lander. Abe Lopez inbounds it to Talon Whelan, who's back in the game. Whelan passes it back out to Stauffenberg, over to Lopez at the top of the key. Coach Reese still yelling about that call. Lopez at the top of the key. Whelan's open, but he passes it to Bartoni inside. And Bartoni's going to get the ball, and that's going to be another jump ball, I would imagine. This time, possession arrow, Mountain View. Bartoni, good effort to try and get the ball back, but when you lay on the ground and try and hold it, you either got to call a timeout or get the ball out. And Bartoni steals the ball almost immediately, tips it to Abe Lopez. Abe Lopez inside, easy 2-point basket as he goes up against 2 different Buffaloes and gets it off the glass. Now Mountain View just, that's an over the back. Yes, that's an over and back for Mountain View. Will Anderson grabbed the pass and took 1 step too far. Turnover by Mountain View. 36-22, 1:34 to go. You're listening on 93.1 KFCW and on WYO Today's YouTube page. And as soon as the ball is inbounded, Mountain View's coach Dustin Reese going to call a timeout. Again, 14-point lead for Lander, 1:34 to go in the third on your Wild Today scoreboard. We'll be right back after this.
During winter storms, it doesn't take long for roads to turn slick. Snowfall is often accompanied by high winds, and blowing and drifting snow can make it difficult to see the road. Speed limits are based on dry pavement conditions and good visibility. Be ready to reduce speed and increase following distance. Crashes are twice as likely to happen when it's slick out, and it's usually because someone is driving too fast for conditions. Remember, when there's ice and snow, take it slow. This message is brought to you by WYDOT.
All right, back here in Mountain View, 14-point lead. It's going to be Lander's ball at half court. Sixby is going to take the inbound pass it right into Brennan Stauffenberg. Crosses the timeline. Lots of zone defense by Mountain View. They're much shorter than Lander is right now with their people on the court. And a bad pass, and that's going to be stolen by Branson by Mountain View. He's going to go court to court, court to court, tries to put it up, and weird shot, almost could have been fouled. Got his own rebound and ends up getting fouled there by 15, Bennett Washburn. That's his first. Dane Branson, I was stepping on myself because I was making sure that he wasn't getting fouled, but he did go court to court. Free throw line to free throw line. Now he puts up his third free throw of the game, and that is good. One more now for Branson. Definitely Mountain View's leading scorer. And up and in off of a couple different bounces. He's 3 for 4 now from the line. Bartoni's going to inbound the pass here. No full court pressure. Stauffenberg's going to easily take it up the court. He's facing 3 Mountain View players. And now Sixby has the ball at the top of the key, gives it back to Stauffenberg. Cross-court pass to Talon Whelan, back to Sixby. Stauffenberg, and now left key for Whelan. Stauffenberg back and forth to Sixby. And a no-look pass to Talon Whelan, who fakes out the Mountain View player. Didn't pull the shot, though. Stauffenberg goes inside the paint, spin move, and he's fouled on the shot by 10. That is Dane Branson. And that is his second. Stauffenberg 2 for 4 so far from the free throw line tonight. Make that 3 for 5. Stu Mullins giving Talon Whelan some advice as he's near the half-court line, making sure that number 4, Cash Henry, doesn't get behind him. Stauffenberg makes another free throw. 4 for 6 now. Mountain View going to come in really fast. Blocked pass there by Bartoni, and that's going to be stolen by Sixby. Whelan for 3, and it's no good, but Bartoni with the rebound. Oh, that's going to be over the back. And that is going to be Lander's third team foul, I should say. Bartoni's second. They're going to bring in Lopez for Stauffenberg. And they brought in Spencer Erickson for Hank Allred on Mountain View's side. Inbound pass, Mountain View getting that full court pressure, face all up in their face right now. Mountain View crosses the timeline. And Cash Henry goes inside all by himself. Smallest dude on the court, looked like the biggest guy right there. Nice dribbling to get around the defense of Lander to get his first points of the game. Cross-court pass by Lopez to Lincoln. Lincoln fakes out and goes across the baseline, gets his own rebound, puts up a shot, and gets fouled by Braden Walker. Lincoln going to go to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Lincoln's first shot bounces around and is good. Braden Lincoln only has 3 points in the game now with that. Let's see if he can make it 4 here. And rolls right out. Rebound Mountain View, and they're going to push this pace here. They're going to put up a long 3. Oh, he made it at the buzzer. Will Anderson with a hand in his face as the time expired. And it is 39-29. They have cut it to a 10-point lead entering the fourth quarter. We'll be back with the final 8 minutes of this game following this.
When you purchase your car, do you know if you got the best payment possible? The answer is probably no. Oftentimes, your loan is packed with additional charges that can drive your monthly payment higher than it should be, costing you thousands of dollars more for your car. Hi, this is Patty, and here is your second chance to get the payment you deserve. Visit Atlantic City Federal Credit Union today for a courtesy loan review. We've helped our members save money by refinancing their vehicle with us. Now it's your turn. Open your eyes to a credit union. Atlantic City Federal Credit Union.
The staff and board at the Fremont County Fair wish to thank everyone who attended the fair this year. Whether you enjoyed Family Day, a night event, entered a craft show, or showed your livestock, thank you for all your efforts. We'll be moving and grooving next year, so stay tuned.
Welcome back. Mountain View Buffaloes now down 10. They were down 9 at halftime, down 9 at the end of the first quarter. So you'd think that, they're not doing as well. They're just kind of keeping pace here. But that three-pointer at the end by Will Anderson, his second three of that third quarter, by the way, that definitely shocked some momentum into this crowd. And let's see if they can use that as Bartoni for Lander is going to pass the ball in to start this fourth quarter. Lopez going to dribble it slowly up to the top of the key, back out to Stauffenberg, who's back in the game. Over to Sixby on the left side of the key. He's been quiet tonight. Sixby faking the pass over to Lopez. Lopez back to Stauffenberg. Stauffenberg looking for someone. Back to Lopez. They're just kind of giving back and forth here. Stauffenberg has a mismatch as far as size goes. He's going up against Cash Henry. Oh, almost a bad pass there by Lopez. Lopez passes it to Stauffenberg, who passes it to Sixby on the left side of the key. Now it's back in Stauffenberg's hands. And Lopez cross-court pass to Sixby, and he's going to shoot the three, and it's going to be good! Sixby with his first points of the game. That's his favorite spot, is that left part of the key there. Back to Anderson. Anderson over to Erickson. Erickson back into Braden Walker, who gives it all the way down to Dane Branson. And that is a player control foul on Branson. Nice little acting job there, I will say, by Stauffenberg. It didn't seem like that hard of a hit. Bartoni's going to pass it inbounds to Lopez. Lopez picking up his dribble. I thought he was going to give it to Stauffenberg. Gives it to Sixby. Sixby, bad pass. Stolen by Braden Walker, who's going to give it. Oh, another bad pass, and that's going to be out of bounds. Oh, last touch by Lander somehow. Mountain View got a little bit lucky there. I'm on the other side of the court, so I can't say that was definitively a Lander touch. But now on this side of the court for Mountain View, almost another bad pass. They're on the right side, on the left side, far side. Cash Henry on the right side of the key. Back over to Will Anderson at the top of the key. He's going to drive, give it back out to Cash, who shoots a three off the back of the iron. Rebound, Parker Sixby, and it's going to go out of bounds. Still Lander ball. And Dustin Reese going to get Hank Allred back in the game for Cash Henry. Looks like timeout by Mountain View. 42-29 in this fourth quarter, 6 minutes, 27 seconds to go on our Wild Today YouTube stream. And we're on 93.1 KFCW, home of the Lander Tigers.
From the wide open spaces to the canyon near you, Wyoming.com is reaching more homes and businesses than ever before. For more than 25 years, we've aimed to provide the best internet and phone service to meet the needs of our customers all across the great state of Wyoming. Now it's getting even better. Wyoming.com, expanding to an area near you. Wyoming.com. We're out there.
Central Wyoming College now offers Bachelor of Applied Science degrees in Early Childhood Education and Organizational Management and Leadership, with an emphasis in outdoor education, tribal leadership, or business and entrepreneurial leadership. CWC offers 3 ways to learn: online, virtual, and in person. Learn, grow, lead, and advance at Central Wyoming College. CWC is leading the way with expanded programs in the Bachelor of Applied Science degree.
Back here in Mountain View, missed a turnover there by Stauffenberg, just a bad pass, couldn't handle it. Now it's going to be Cash Henry at the top of the key. Passes a nice inside ball there to Braden Walker, but too hard off the backboard. Missed. Rebound by Lander. Stauffenberg going to drive to the paint, put up a nice little floater. Too hard. And Bartoni's probably going to get called with that foul. Yep, Bartoni going to get that foul here. That is his third. It's going to be Mountain View ball, down 13 points with 6 minutes to go in this game. Nothing's impossible. Mountain View looking for their third win. Lander looking for their 8th. Both of them looking for their first conference win, as this is the first conference game. Dane Branson back over to Will Anderson at the top of the key. Hank Allred inside. Nice pass there to Braden Walker, and a nice give and go to Cash Henry, but he misses the layup. Bartoni gets the rebound, and a foul on number 10, Dane Branson. That is his 4th. One more, and that boy is out of here. Bartoni going to inbound the ball. Going to inbound it to Lopez. A little loose full court defense here. It's going to be half court defense for sure. Press. Now Sixby over here on the left side of the key, over to Lincoln. Back to Sixby. Stauffenberg getting the ball at the top of the key. Mountain View playing much, much stricter defense right now. Stauffenberg back at the top of the key, over to Lopez. Lopez, cross-court pass to Sixby. Sixby double-teamed immediately, back to Stauffenberg. Coach Reese telling his boys to man up and get close. Sixby gets pushed out of bounds. That'll be a penalty on Dane Branson. That's his last one. He is fouled out. So Mountain View's leading scorer out of the game with 15 points. Mind you, that is over half of Mountain View's 29 points, as Sixby's going to go to the line here. Lander officially in the bonus. 7 fouls on Mountain View, so 1-1 here. Sixby gets the first. 4 points on the game for Sixby, all in this fourth quarter. 5:10 to go in this fourth quarter. Lander up 43-29 on our Wild Today scoreboard. Sixby shot up and good. 2 for 2 so far tonight. Mountain View seeing full court pressure again. Cash Henry going to quickly dribble to the left side of the key, left side, far side. He's almost stepping out of bounds, gets double teamed, and Will Anderson drops the ball directly into Abe Lopez's hands. And Lopez with the easy 2, his first points of the fourth quarter. You couldn't have asked for a better steal. It just dropped right in his hand. And Cash Henry almost loses the ball again. Gives it over to the top of the key now, Will Anderson. Oh, long cross-court pass to Cash. He's going to take a little 6-foot jumper and make it. And that is Cash Henry's first points of the game. Lopez up against Cash. We're going to get a hand check foul. Slide your feet, says Coach Reese. And Cash Henry's 4th foul. Some foul trouble here for Mountain View. Abe Lopez going to go to the line. We're going to get Sixby and Stauffenberg coming out for Washburn. And, oh, no, Stauffenberg's not coming out. Lincoln's coming out. So Stauffenberg coming in. Staying in. I'm sorry, guys. And Bennett Washburn and Talon Whelan coming into the game. Abe Lopez hits his first of 2 free throws. Lander up 16, 4:36 to go in the game. Lopez on the shot for his second one. Quick release, and it is pure. 2 for 2 in the fourth quarter for Lopez. They're going to pass the ball into Will Anderson. Back to Erickson, back to Anderson. Try and get over the half-court line, and they do. Crazy pass, just a little bit too long. Cash Henry trying to catch it like an over-the-shoulder football pass, but too high for him, and it is a turnover. And we're going to get a timeout by Lander here. 4:25 to go, 48-31 Lander. This is 93.1 KFCW, your home of Lander basketball and athletics. And we're streaming on Wild Today's YouTube page.
Wild-Glass wants to wish all the Lander Valley Tiger teams good luck this year. Wild-Glass is locally owned and operated in Lander. They bleed green. Call or stop in today to get a quote on a window or get a quick fix on your window for a rock chip. Wild-Glass is Lander.
From one corner of the state to the other, over 82% of Wyomingites wear their seatbelts. And to the 18% who don't, we say, let's buckle up for life, Wyoming.
At some point, everyone is a pedestrian.
When you're driving, yield to pedestrians.
Wear light clothing.
Walk on a pathway instead of the road.
Look out for pedestrians.
Avoid distractions like your phone.
Look out for pedestrians, they're everywhere. We are the Wyoming Indian Lady Chiefs. We need you in our stand.
Quickly inbound to Brendan Stauffenberg, who's going to push it here, and he's going to go inside the paint. And nice rebound by Bartoni right off the iron. Bartoni with his 4th points. Oh, I can't believe he's only had 4 points. I feel like I've called his name all night, but a little bit too hard by Stauffenberg, and Bartoni was right there to clean it up. Now Anderson at the top of the key for Mountain View going up against Lopez. Back to Cash Henry. Way long pass to Erickson. Interrupted there by Bennett Washburn. Will Anderson got the ball, passed it, and Washburn tipped it out again. So it'll be Erickson here. Got to get the camera all the way over. I am right on the sideline behind the PA and the scorekeepers here. So I'm much closer than some of the other people here. Cash Henry gets the inbound pass. He's going to go up against Lopez. Over to Anderson. Back to Cash. Nice inside pass there to Hank Allred, who misses the 3-foot, 4-foot jumper there. Oh, and then Stauffenberg trips. Don't know if that was on his own. Will Anderson going to put up a 3. Partially blocked there by Talon Whelan. And a jump ball after Cash Henry gets the rebound. And the Buffaloes really trying to get anything going here. They're down 19 with 3:33 to go. Anderson going to pass the ball in to Cash Henry on the outside of the key. Oh, Hank Allred all left alone there for 3, and he's going to make that all day. Abe Lopez overcompensated a little bit, and that left Allred with an easy 3-point shot. Lopez now with the ball. Back to Bartoni on the top of the key. Over to Stauffenberg, who's getting harassed by Braden Walker. Stauffenberg trying to dribble around him. Can't. Picks up his dribble. Gives it to Bennett Washburn at the top of the key. Bartoni pump fakes. Long cross-court pass to Talon Whelan, who puts up a 3, and that is nothing but net. A 3-pointer good for Talon Whelan. That's his first points of the game. And now matching threes. And now number 11, Erickson for 3, and he's good. So 3 3-pointers in a row, 2 by Mountain View, 1 by Lander. And we're going to get a timeout here. Didn't see who called it, but it is going to be 53-37 when we come back. 2:44 to go left in this final quarter.
From the field, to the court, to the pool, and beyond, Fremont County athletes give their blood, sweat, and tears for their teammates and community. Why compromise that with alcohol or marijuana? Help your athlete make the most of their playing time by avoiding the dangers and impact that substance use can have on their performance and future. For more resources and information, visit FremontCountyPrevention.com.
Back here in Mountain View, we are 2 minutes and 45 minutes and 45 seconds away from this game being over, and all of us driving back to Lander or Riverton, Fremont County right now. Lopez going to bring it up the court, and he's going to stop, give it right back to Stauffenberg. They obviously have a play in mind. Wow, Whelan kind of left wide open, and now Bartoni gives a nice give and go to Washburn. Lopez open on the key, and a long high pass to Stauffenberg. Now he's inside the key, gives it back to Whelan for 3, and that's good. 4 threes in a row, 2 by Talon Whelan, 2 by Mountain View. This game is just heating up here at the end. Will Anderson trying to get out of the backcourt. Gives it up to Cash Henry now, and now back to Anderson at the top of the key. Picks up his dribble, gives it to Spencer Erickson, gives it back to Cash. Gives it to Hank Allred, who finds nice little reach in there by Lopez to get the ball out of bounds. Will Anderson was going to try and juke him out and get a free open 3-pointer there. Now Anderson has to pass it inbounds, gives it to Cash at the top of the key. He's guarded by Talon Whelan, picks up his dribble, long high pass, almost stolen by Bartoni, and now Erickson for 3. No good. That breaks the straight 3-pointers, and Bennett Washburn with the rebound, but that's going to be No jump ball. That's going to be a foul on 15, Bennett Washburn. That's his second. I don't see how that's a foul. If anything, that's just another jump ball. Stu Mullins trying to get the explanation from the ref. Oh, wow, nice inbound pass to Hank Allred, and a little floater goes right in from 5 feet out. Lander still up 17, under 2 minutes to go. Lopez going to go across the outside, and they're going to get a foul there as Lopez hits the ground. Number 11, Spencer Erickson's second foul. That'll put Lopez at the line for a 1-and-1. 9 fouls in this second half for Mountain View, only 5 for Lander. Lopez makes his first. He's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for 9. See if he can make it 9 for 10 and end the night on a 90%. He does. 90% free throw night so far for Abe Lopez. Cash drops the ball right into Abe Lopez's hands again. Can't get that lucky twice, right? Bartoni, nice pass inside. Bartoni, little floater. And Bartoni with 2 from about 5 feet out. Sloppy ball handling here by Mountain View. Cash is going to give it up. Another steal there by Lander. Brendan Stauffenberg just gets right in front of the pass. Over to Whelan for 3, and he's nothing but net again. Talon Whelan with his third 3 of the fourth quarter. Now over to Spencer Erickson, gets it across the timeline. He's up against Abe Lopez, Will Anderson at the top of the key. They give it into Hank Allred. Another nice little floater there by Hank Allred from the free throw line. Talon Whelan going to try and dribble it out, gives it back to Brendan Stauffenberg. Back over to Lopez. Lopez double teamed, and they knock the ball out of his hand, but Bartoni gets it, and he passes it right into Will Anderson's hand. Steal by Mountain View. Anderson going to stop at the three-point line, give it right back out to Allred, who's hot, and he misses the 3. And tried to rebound it by Washburn, but Mountain View just tries to save it in bounds and gives it right back to Lander. Abe Lopez goes into the paint. Easy 2 there for Lopez. He'll do that all day. Going up against 3 different Mountain View players and just puts it right up. Cash Henry goes coast to coast, misses the layup. Washburn with the rebound, and they're going to hold this clock out. 10 seconds left. 8 seconds left. 7, 6, 5, and Stauffenberg's just going to pick up the ball, and Lander's going to win this 65-41. Lander's going to move to 8-3 on the year and 1-0 in conference play. Mountain View going to move to 2-11 overall and 0-1 in conference play. I'm going to tally up some scores here, come back with our post-game show brought to you by Click It or Ticket, and we're going to give away some Papa Murphy's coupons and Gatorades to our players of the game. Again, 60, oh man, they already took the game off. I will be right back with the post-game show right after this.
At Teton Therapy, our people make the difference. You can live pain-free. The amazing staff at Teton Therapy can help in Lander and Riverton.
When repairs are complete after a collision, you expect your car, SUV, or truck to look like new. That's the service you'll receive at Stork Auto Body in Riverton. Professionalism and meticulous attention to detail. You can depend on Stork Auto Body, 841 Miniweb Avenue, Riverton.
If your vehicle needs repair, you can depend on the crew at Extra Care Auto Repair. They can repair almost anything with wheels, gas, diesel, domestic, or import, and their work is top quality and reliable. Extra Care Auto Repair on North Federal in Riverton.
A well-drawn-up game plan can be the difference between wins and losses. The same can be said about your mental health. Making a game plan to talk to your children can make a huge impact on them and help make them feel supported and listened to. The good news is, this winning game plan isn't hard to implement. All it takes is you starting the conversation and being ready to talk. If you need helpful resources and tools, you can visit FremontCountyPrevention.com.
Welcome back here to Mountain View. Final score is 65-41, all Lander here as we put up our Click It or Ticket post-game show. Want to thank YDOT for reminding us all that we need to drive with a seatbelt on and drive slow in this snow and ice. So in that fourth quarter, it was all Lander. They scored 26 points. Now, the Mountain View team did put up double digits the final 3 quarters, but there was just nothing they could do. Scoring 4 in that first quarter really put them at a detriment, and they could only score 12 in that fourth quarter. So at the end, it was 26-12 in the fourth quarter in favor of Lander, 14-13 in the third quarter in favor of Lander. They both had 12 in the second quarter, and Lander outscored Mountain View 13-4 in the first quarter. Players of the game will be brought up right here after the stats. I'll give you the stats for Mountain View first. Pretty easy who they were trying to get it to. Dane Branson, 15 points before fouling out in that fourth quarter. He was followed up by Spencer Erickson with 7. No, Hank Allred had 9. Then Spencer Erickson had 7. Will Anderson had 6 off of 2 3-pointers to end that third quarter. Colt Henry, before he got injured, was 2 points. Cash Henry also had 2 points. That is your Mountain View scoreboard. On the Lander side, we had a nice slew of different people scoring. Parker Sixby had 5 points, all in the fourth quarter. Taylon Whelan, we're going to give him the Gatorade Player of the Game because I have not seen a player for Lander come out and shoot like that. He had 9 points, all in the fourth quarter. Caleb Bartoni ended up having 6. Braden Lincoln ended up having 6. He had all of his in the first 3 quarters. We didn't see him very much in the fourth. Bennett Washburn had 8. Brendan Stauffenberg, very relatively quiet night for the guy that averages 14.6 points per game. He had 7 tonight, didn't score at all in the fourth quarter. Abe Lopez had himself another night, 21 points. And Jainito Monroe Black would have 3, and they all came from his 3-pointer in the first quarter. So there you go. I'm going to give the Papa Murphy's coupon here to Abe Lopez. I know he's earned a couple already, but 21 points, really dominated the paint. He went coast to coast a handful of times and really made the game his own. He was silky smooth from 3, and he was 9 for 10 from the free throw line. Papa Murphy's player of the game. Taylon Whelan, again, getting the Gatorade Player of the Game after such a dominant performance in that fourth quarter, shooting 3 straight threes and making all of them. Can't wait to talk to him. Hopefully Coach Stu Mullins will get him up here. I need to go ask him real fast as they're in the locker room probably celebrating their 24-point win. We will be right back talking to Coach Stu Mullins post-game show and hopefully a player of the game. Don't turn that dial. We're on 93.1 KFCW, home of Lander basketball and athletics, and we're streaming on Wild Today's YouTube page.
It's more than clocking in or collecting a paycheck. We are a network of caring professionals who want to be here, dedicated to serving our communities. We are Sage West Healthcare, our 2 campus hospitals in Riverton and Lander. We take pride in our region, our people, and our communities. Located in beautiful central Wyoming, filled with natural recreation in our own backyard. We are neighbors caring for neighbors, a community caring for its own. We are Sage West. We are recruiting the best, like you.
Natural Health Solutions offers treatments for a variety of conditions, along with nutritional counseling, chiropractic, acupuncture, and more. Treatment plans designed individually to optimize your health. Call for an appointment, 856-8181 today.
Why should you choose Lander Medical Clinic or Western Family Care for your health care? In addition to 4 locations in Fremont County, they also provide telehealth. Telehealth can be your go-to answer when you're out of town, on the road, or just can't get to urgent care. All you need is a good internet connection. To schedule a telehealth appointment, call 332-2941 today. That's 332-2941. Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care. With telehealth, they're putting your health first every time. You need an oil change, but you don't have a lot of time. Expressway Lubes on South Federal in Riverton and Highway 789 in Lander provide a fast, professional lube oil and filter change. Expressway Lubes, locally owned and proud to support our local student athletes.
A proud sponsor of this broadcast is Bailey Enterprises. For over 50 years, Bailey has become the name you can trust. With Pit Stop Travel Centers, you can fuel up and stock up on trip snacks at locations all over Fremont County. You can also put your trust in Bailey Tire and Auto for service to keep handy for those times when your luck runs out on the road. Refresh at the Speedway Cafe with a dine-in meal or a round of carry-out with a variety of specials to keep you going. Go with Bailey.
All right, back here on our Click It or Ticket postgame show with our Papa Murphy's Player of the Game, Abe Lopez. This is not your first time being Papa Murphy's Player of the Game. You're just so dominant on the court. What really went well for you tonight? You had 21 points.
I think just the ball movement with our whole team. We just stayed together all around. We just stayed together collectively as a group. And we love each other so much that we just would do anything for each other.
I can see that. And, you went 9 for 10 from the free throw line. I don't know if you know how well you did from the free throw line. I mean, was it just on for you tonight, or is that something you've really been practicing to get right?
As you can see in last weekend at the tournament, I really struggled at the line against Wyoming Indian, and I could have had like 32 points if I made my free throws. But today was a good day, and the free throws went in, so I'm happy.
Today was a good day. You played some great defense, too, under the post. I know you were able to go coast to coast and really drive into the paint like you like to do, but you were playing some great defense on the other side. What was Mountain View doing that maybe you weren't expecting tonight?
I don't know. Mountain View is a good team, and I was just expecting them to set up charges for me and Brennan because we like to take the ball in.
Understandable. I know we talked about this last time, but Kyson McClung made the trip all the way up here. What does it mean to see him on the sideline, knowing that you're not going to be able to play with him, but he's still bringing you your energy?
Kayson's my brother. Been with me since a freshman, and he does a lot of hard work, but it's just it's just a bad thing that happened to him, and we just go out there and do it for him.
Yeah, it was a bad thing, and we wish that we could see him more. I'm going to give you your Papa Murphy's Player of the Game coupon there, and let's give your headset over to Talon, right, our Gatorade Player of the Game. Not Talon, Talon. Have a good night, my man. Get home safe.
Thank you so much.
Talon coming up here. Talon Whelan. Can you hear me all right, Talon?
Yeah, I can.
Talon Whelan, I should say. I'm saying your name correctly, right?
Whelan.
Talon Whelan. It's gonna roll off the tongue very differently from here on out. You had 3 straight three-pointers in that fourth quarter. We gave you a Gatorade for it because of just how silky smooth your shot was. What happened in that fourth quarter? Did you get the green light to finally start shooting?
Yeah, I just got open passes from my teammates, and I just shot with more confidence than I usually do.
You were much taller than the 3 guys that you were shooting over as well, but you did have a hand in your face the whole time. Is that something you practice in over the week, having a hand in your face while you shoot the 3?
Yeah, my coach tells me if I got enough space, then let it fly.
And you definitely let it fly tonight, my man. You only had 9 points. That's still the second best point spread here on your team. And there's a lot that you do on defense that I think a lot of people don't realize. Do you like playing defense or offense more?
I like playing offense more, but defense is pretty fun.
Yeah, and I think that the next game you have is Riverton. How long have you been playing for the Lander Tigers? Has it been all your whole life?
So I came here my freshman year, and then I moved to Minnesota with my dad, and then I returned this year.
What is playing against Riverton feel like for you? What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to beating them, putting them away.
Well, very confident, and I appreciate you, my man. Go ahead and hand your headset over to Coach Stu Mullins here. Get home safe, all right?
All right,
thanks. Did you get a Gatorade? Cool. Awesome. Well, hey, Coach Stu Mullins here. You can take another step up. I'm really tight up here with all the cords. Coach Stu Mullins, nice 24-point victory. What went well for you guys tonight?
We just executed the game plan, to almost perfection. This team is a lot better than their record. They're big and strong, and we were worried about two, with his shooting percentage over the course of the year, and so we had some. We call it tell the truth Monday, and Monday came around and we had to tell the truth about some things that we were falling down on, and really it was our top guys providing more pressure and in our zone keeping it out of the high post, and they took that challenge on. I mean, we had a ton of pressure, and they turned it over a lot, especially late. We just overwhelmed them.
Yeah, you definitely did. And you were talking about your top guys. Brendan Stauffenberg only had 7 points, but you really spread the wealth around tonight. You had 2, 4, 6, 8 players score at least 3 points. Was that something you planned on doing when you came in here?
No. I mean, we love to spread it around, don't get me wrong. But I just told the team, I mean, you know, you beat a really good team with your leading scorer scoring 7 points. And so, you know, that tells us and the rest, you know, teams can't just game plan for one. And that's really important is we had to have help from a lot of different guys and, you know, for Talon to step up and hit those shots. I mean, everybody that came in, Jainito hitting that shot in the first quarter or second quarter. I mean, everybody came in and contributed, and that's what you like to see kind of this time of year.
Underneath the post, they really were kind of physical there in that first half, and they kind of let off in the second. Do you think that was just because they were trying to play you different in the second half and adjust, or do you think you were really imposing your will there in that second half?
Well, they got out of their 2-3, and they went to that 1-2-2, you know, and right now, without Kaysen, you know, we have to be very creative with Brennan because, you know, he can, I mean, he's a 40% three-point shooter, and he's obviously really good inside, but where they were so big, you know, we felt like our advantage was maybe outside with him with his decision making and facilitating and all those, and just being smart. And so, you know, when they made that little run, I was telling these guys that we haven't seen zone this year. You know, that was the first time we've seen a zone. And so that takes a little bit of adjustment, even though we played in practice, because all of our emphasis is on defense. And so, you know, that was the big challenge today. Could we maintain it? Sometimes that's hard against the zone. So I was really proud of our kids for that.
Well, definitely, you definitely did well against the zone. And you mentioned Case, and I wanted to ask, is he kind of picking up like an assistant coach type of clipboard right now? I know that he's at every game, even though he doesn't have to be. Is he kind of your new assistant coach?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he is. I mean, he just leadership. I mean, he knows these kids so well. And you know, for a kid that has put in so much time to be where he's at, you know, he's just trying his hardest. It's really hard. But he's, you know, just being here gives us a really good presence, and the kids love having him around. And, you know, so, yeah, he brings us some energy.
His mom and I shed a tear, actually, in PAL last week when we were talking about it, because she knew how much he wanted to play with them. Last question. You got Riverton, big rivalry on Tuesday. What does this game mean to you, and what does this game mean to your team?
Yeah. I mean, it's so much fun for Fremont County. I've been on both sides of it, you know, and you know, their coaching staff was my coaching staff, and you know, they're my best friends, and so the familiarity is interesting, I guess is a word you could say. You know, we love to beat each other, but you know, we're really good friends, and so are a lot of the kids. I mean, Brennan grew up in Riverton. Casey grew up in Riverton, you know, and so there's just a lot of familiarity between the two teams, and they're a really, really good team. We're going to have to play well to compete, you know, and I hope we do.
Yeah, Parker Paxton, Derek DeVries, two of the leading scorers in their entire class. It's going to be very difficult, and if you block them up, they have Jason Vincent, they have Nathan Hutchison. They have a very good team. I'm excited to watch how you guys play them, and we'll be there on Tuesday. Thank you very much, Coach, for stopping by. Get home safe. I'll be driving right behind you guys.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Shawn.
No problem. We'll be right back with the rest of our post-game show, and we will head home after that.
Your car or truck is an investment. When it needs repairs, you need someone you can trust to do the job right. Take it to Gunners Automotive. They repair all makes and models of cars and trucks, from oil changes to brakes, tires, and more. Gunners Automotive, 856-2288.
Wyoming Community Bank is ready to serve you. Stop in at any one of their branches located in Riverton, Lander, and DuBois. A bank that is owned and operated by the locals of Fremont County. Wyoming Community Bank. They're here to help you. Community Health Centers of Central Wyoming has locations across Fremont County ready to serve you at DuBois Medical Clinic, Riverton Community Health, and Lander Community Health Pediatrics. We accept all forms of insurance, including Medicaid and Medicare. Are you struggling to get medical care? Ask for their sliding fee scale. From family medicine to pediatrics, Community Health Centers are here to serve you. Call 307-463-7160 or visit chccw.org to schedule your appointment.
Back with the last few seconds of our Click It or Ticket post-game show. as they are setting up everything here to go home. I'm also trying to go home. I'm going to leave you with some games from outside of Mountain View, but also in Fremont County and Hot Springs County, technically. Thermopolis boys, just like the girls, dropped to Powell. This time the boys lost 85-59. Riverton right now, last score I got from them was 43-33 at half. Wolverines were on top of Rock Springs, and just got the final score from Ethity. Wyoming Indian Chiefs pulled out a close victory, beating Kimmerer 64-60. Remember, on Wild Today's YouTube page, you can watch Riverton at Kelly Walsh tomorrow, and you can watch Wyoming Indian at home versus Big Piney. Those will be two good games, very well called. One by Kevin Shields over in Riverton as he travels to Casper with his family to go the Kelly Walsh games. And then, of course, Cody Beers out there in Ethity doing a great job as always. Again, final score from here, 65-41. This has been really fun. It's been my first time calling a game by myself. Ernie Over, if you're listening, I really appreciate you, but I might have to do this a little bit more often, get my feet just a little bit more wet. And with that, I'm going to bid you all a fair adieu, and we will see you on Tuesday, 6 p.m., the Riverton and Lander girls tip off, meaning about pregame is going to be about 5:30 p.m. Boys tip off directly after the girls game. Riverton and Lander Valley's rivalry is one of the biggest and most well-known in Wyoming, so it's going to be a fun time. Win or lose for either of these Lander teams, they know what the other team is all about. So we will see you on Tuesday. Everyone get home safe. Drive safe on the ice and snow, and remember to click it or ticket. Thank you, YDOT, for sponsoring our post-game show, and we will talk to you on Tuesday.
High Plains Power is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative. What does that mean for you as a Rural Electric Association member? It all comes down to 7 principles: open membership, one voice, one vote, member benefits, independence, education, cooperation, and community. To understand how it all works, we're headed back in time. In 1879, electricity was in major cities, but rural areas were out of luck. In 1935, President FDR made it possible for companies to build power lines to unserved areas. By the time we hit 1941, some 400 electric co-ops had been organized to serve rural America, just like High Plains Power. For more information, visit highplainspower.org.
Visit Lander Gambles to make your home feel like new. They will beat any competitor's price. Stop by to speak to one of the sales agents or visit landergambles.com. Lander Gambles will help you find the perfect product that fits your budget and lifestyle. Lander Gambles, 420 Main Street, Lander.